Good afternoon and welcome to City Oval for the first semi-final in the McDonald's Ballarat Football League final series this afternoon. It is Melton taking on East Point. First versus sixth from the home and away season. Sam Young, Todd Whelan bringing all the action live from the wonderful City Oval this afternoon. Todd, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sammy. And the weather gods have been kind this weekend with that, well, it's pretty ordinary weather during the week, but it looks like the rain might subside for the best part of the afternoon and predominantly dry conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the ground in fantastic nick here, the City Oval. It will be the new home of the 2023 Grand Final, and yesterday afternoon, Todd, we were privileged to see Darley book their place into this year's Grand Final. Fantastic performance by Dan Jordan's men. The losing side, North Ballarat, will have played a victor this afternoon out of this one between Melton and East Point, live this afternoon from the City Oval.
Yeah, interesting stat to come out of today's game for the winner, whoever that be, if they were to progress and win a preliminary final and then into the grand final. They will have had to have won 3 games in 13 days to get it done. So it's a big ask for the winner of today's game.
Yeah, great call, Todd. I like that. I mean, how even this competition's been throughout season 2023. Hard to win 3 games on the trot, nor 3 within 13 days. Final teams are going to come across the news desk, and 2 changes for the away side. We'll start with East Point. Tillman and Drew Murphy, the late inclusion, replaces Stephen Tunn and Isaac Hucker. And for Melton, of course, Riley Walker suspended after his incident last week with Will Johnston in the qualifying final. Oscar Greenshields comes in, the youngster, he's still eligible, of course, for the under-19s, making a big, bold call. Aaron Timms bringing him in this afternoon in a big, of course, do or die final at the City Oval.
Yeah, indeed. We've witnessed 2 already here at City Oval. And, of course, the under-19s repeat, basically, or a prequel, if you will, to the game that's about to unfold. East Point getting it done against Melton, so the Kangas progress there. So a win for the East Point Football Club, and just moments ago the reserve grade concluding with Sebastopol too strong for Darley.
So Ballarat have a side in the grand final in the 19s and one still alive in now a preliminary final. I think they take on East Point in the reserves competition next week, so looking forward to seeing that as the prequel next week.
So a 12-win season for Sebastopol in the first grade. There's a trophy for the performance of a club over just the football? Is it football and netball?
I believe it is still football and netball, but you had 6, I think, out of the netball sides, out of the 6 sides, 5 of them made it to the finals as well. So
it's supposed to be in the running for the best performed club, you'd think?
I would think so. Very good performance across the board in football and netball this season. The Sebastopol, holistically, despite getting knocked out last week by East Point in the elimination final. Last time these 2 sides met at the City Oval was in a semi-final back in 2018. That day, Melton upset what was the juggernaut of East Point and booked their place into a grand final. East Point were able to get their revenge and win the grand final in 2018. It's been a historic rivalry between these 2 sides ever since. This season, they've met twice, both times gone the way of Melton by 8 points back in round 7 at the Eastern Oval. And in commanding fashion, they got the job done in round 13. Ryan Carter, the star of the show, against East Point last time, 7 goals.
Yeah, well, let's address the elephant in the room. No Geordie Johnson today for East Point. It's obvious, obviously, a Henderson medal contender, well and truly alive there. You're giving East Point a hope without JJ taking his place. Sammy?
Well, Lightning struck once last week without him. It's hard to see doing it twice this afternoon. On paper, I mean, East Point against Melton, you have to go with the Bloods across their 22. I think they're just so well drilled. They have so many X factors that can stand up either end to be the difference. You've got obviously the Carter boys inside 50. Braden Kite loves a goal. Kicked 2 bags of 4 against East Point both times in the home and away season. They're just a lot of firepower for that young, inexperienced East Point defence to deal with. Walsh would get Carter, but then you're going to look at the young Joe Fraser's going to have to pick up probably Liam. Howard's going to probably pick up Kite, and all of a sudden you start to stretch that forward 6 already.
Yeah, East Point and Melton, well, they've got a history of big third quarters with Melton kicking double-figure goals in that Ripper home and away game, and more recently their 8-point win in Ballarat over the Kangas. It was a 5-2 third quarter to get them over the line by 8 points.
We're all ready to go for the first semi-final here live from the City Oval. Will be Archer and Van Meel to get underway with Archer getting the first tap down. Johnston, though, first to react, gets boot to ball. East Point kicking to the left of screen to start. Bouncing ball, Phillips up to meet it. Knocked it to his advantage. Off the deck. Quick kick there went from Wilson towards the half-forward line. Opportunity for the Kangas to go inside 50 for the first time. Right foot kick towards the heart of the goal face. Off the deck goes Faruja trying to gain territory. Merritt clever between the legs, but only found Walker. Suter out the back found Archer. Great smother by Merritt. Opens up for the coach. Right foot snaps into the near side and a minor score. An opening blemish here in the opening minutes goes the way of East Point. They lead by that single point margin.
What a start for the Kangas. That would have been a goal to the playing coach, if you will, Jackson Merritt. And you'll think the start also important for the underdog Kangas today as the ball comes back into play. Penetrating kick for Ruja, strong overhead. Courageous young player. Had a good year. So he goes along the line with the right boot. Commentator's curse. Out of bounds on the full. Cue in the rack for me momentarily, Sammy.
Well, funny you say that, Todd. In the research game, this one, he had a career high 22 against the East Point early in the season. Started well early until that kick as Whitaker leads up, takes the mark, looks to launch inside forward 50. Robinson will be into the pack, couldn't take the mark. Jeffrey first to react to ground levels, brought up, ball up, deep inside forward 50. Left the screen, maybe favoured by a goal. Slight swirly breeze to contend with here at the City Oval. Pretty much perfect conditions this afternoon for football.
Tap one by Van Meel. East Point into attack only as far as Suter with the clearing kick. Carter couldn't gather cleanly. Loose ball opportunity for Lockie Walker. Got it to Cotter. Found Liam Carter. In ball to Jack Walker. He went along the line. Excellent gather there from Braden Kite. Gave it to Geordie Kite. Kick across the body to an open forward line. Foot race on in earnest. Borg leading into the race. No one will catch him. He gathers. Squaring hand pass. Missed the target. Braden Kite kept running and picked up the crumb, but was tackled, taken to the ground by Johnson. And there'll be a ball up 15 metres out from the Melton goal.
Yeah, worrying signs there. Kyle Borg was streaming inside forward 50. Just had it set up for him. Might have had an opening shot on goal for Melton. Deep inside forward 50, umpire Adrian Newett. He gets back underway. Quick snap coming there from Payne doing the ruck work and just bounced before the line. So we'll get a ball in to restart.
Timekeepers have gone to sleep, Sammy. It's been 3 minutes 46 gone for the last 5 minutes.
But we'll get a ball in. Inside 50. One down this time by Van Meel. Johnston got the hands free. We meant he wouldn't. Filmer left it for Slater. He just dumps it out of the fence towards the broadcast side. Suter in a one-on-one with Merritt had him all wrapped up, and the umpire saw that. Good start for the playing coach. Has the only score on the board with it behind, and now a free kick working up towards half-back.
Given the importance of Merritt and the player type of Suter, it looks like a deliberate matchup, Sammy.
Absolutely been a revelation across half-forward the coach this year. High ball towards the half-forward line. Archer arrives late, couldn't take the mark. Walker weighing down, collected maybe high by Conlon. Umpire on the spot saw that. Free kick will go the way of Lockie Walker, defensive side of centre wing.
So Walker with ball in hand. Of course, no Riley Walker today, so we can get away with just calling him by the surname. Conceded grounder for Ruja. Dangerous kick. Ground ball, shark by Johnson. Right foot kick to an open forward line. McDougall's got it. Top of the goal square. Plays on. And they kick the opener of the game.
Love that from Matty Johnston. Left his direct opponent. Took the risk. Got the footy. Sent it towards full forward. And Bryce McDougall, when he's hot, he's hot. Gets out the back. Kicks the opening goal of the day.
Yeah, all important 3 goals last week. And, of course, yeah, the risky kick, we called it. Just had to hit the target, just held up into a little bit of breeze and allowed Johnson with that closing speed to turn over the footy. And McDougall essentially got one over the back in the end, and great start for the Kangas.
1-1-7 they lead here. Melton yet to score. One down by Van Meel. Borg gets it off there towards Cotter. Great smother there. Brings the ball again. Cotter maybe contacted high. Umpire knew he saw it. In the back either way. Free kick will go the way of Melton. Of the number 4, Geordie Cotter. Had 10 intercept marks the last time these two sides played in round 13. Was super across half-back as he actually went to Archer down the middle. He goes to Borg, being bright early. Right foot kick will go inside 50. Opportunity for Braden Kite to have a run and jump at it. Couldn't take the mark. Ball spills over that. Carter tried to knock between the legs of Howard. Ball still alive in the left foot pocket. Hot foot to be won. Great tackling pressure by his point by Joe Fraser to lock things up deep inside defensive 50.
We'll endeavour to keep you updated with our analogue version of the scoreboard because the The digital one is out of play at the moment, seemingly frozen, but it should read East Point 1-1, Melton no score, but the Bloods into attack. How can they respond? Payne is bailed up by Lovig, and there'll be a ball up 15 metres out from the Melton goal.
After a bright start, looks like Liam Kennedy just keeping a close eye on Kyle Borg. At all centre, at all ball ups. Opportunity here for Kite. Just needs to sit up for the captain. Gets the hammer away to Lockie Walker. Left foot snapped in, enough purchase on. Still alive. Button. Quick shot on goal. Scraped through for a minor score. It's their first blemish of the afternoon. Melton went behind. Trails East Point 1-1-7 here. Live at the City Oval. In what is, I guess, being played in Ballarat today, Todd. Another unofficial home final for East Point.
Yeah, indeed, and they'll be wanting to make the most of that with the Bloods on the road, but the kick in from Lovig was overcorked, and Payne, well, just waited there at the back, and it's hit him right in the breadbasket, and Payne, an important player for the Bloods, game number 7 for this year, will go back and have a shot on goal.
Yeah, he's a beautiful striker, the footy too, Todd, so we've no issues making the distance. A rare blemish from Mr. Dependable Cam Lovig coming out of full back as Payne. His kick is on its way. It's a thumping strike, as I said. Gunplay has a merry dance, but sees it over his head and scores a level once again at the City Oval. It's 1-1, 7 apiece in the opening moments here, live in the first semi-final in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League.
Yeah, we've had a terrific final series to date, and this one shaping up as a ripper as well, with both sides relatively even on the inside 50 count, and that is equated to the scoreboard reading 1 goal, 1 apiece, and we've been playing near 10 minutes in this opening term here in the McDonald's Carlton Draft first semi-final.
Archett wins it down. Will be dominant in the ruck as always. 95 hitouts last week in the loss to Darley. Hot footy be one in the middle. Beats to a honeypot sort of stuff, and umpire Adrian Newley says, give it to me. We'll get another chance to restart here at the wonderful City Oval. Cracking afternoon of football we're waiting for to ensue. As again, Archer this time trying to take it out of the air. Van Meel did enough over the top. Almost got the clearance, trying to get boots a ball. And we'll go for a third time to restart here live at the City Oval. 1-1-7 apiece. Melton and East Point.
Restart right in the middle of the ground here. Archard and Van Meel. Tap one by Archard. Umpires picked out a free kick here. It's going to go the way of Dodd, who went with a penetrating left foot kick inside 50. McDougall, the target, went over his head, and Ferrugia quite happy to gather the ball and momentum carry him over the line for a boundary throw in 25 metres around from the East Point goal.
Ball back in. Favours Archer in front, you would feel. Knocks it down. Filmer first to react on the bottom of the pack. Just rocked up immediately. Another ball is the result. Deepest forward for East Point. 16-year-old Sean Robinson. 8 goals in the last 2 weeks. Has been in terrific form as Whittaker got hands to this one. Ball spills out the pack. Maito will come broadcast side with a scrubby right foot kick. Touched off the boot, so Carter won't be paid the mark. Walsh doesn't realise, so he's able to just waltz away from him. Goes towards half forward. Strong hands in front, almost a mark by Jack Walker. Spills in the back to favour Howard here of East Point. Holds the footy in. Umpire on the spot says, did you make a genuine attempt? And a free kick will go the way of Ryan Carter, about 65 from goal.
Yeah, it looks like he's just fallen out of bed, Ryan Carter, but what a quality player he is. And he goes onto that right boot, inside 50, Payne the target. Cut off well there by Smoking Joe Fraser. Yeah, and he'll get the Kingers out of trouble.
Love it, Toddy, and that's a good little confidence booster for the youngster in front of Payne, taking a lovely mark. He looks to come broadcast side with a high ball. Van Meel, the obvious target. Elects to fist it forward, just gain territory at this point. Suda, more worried about McDougall coming through than the football. As Button, the ground lad, was wrapped up here by Johnston, always diving in hard as a cat's head. Here's the captain, Matty Johnston. Was influential early last week against Sebastopol. And again, we'll try to get his charges going. He already has 1 goal assist to his name in the early parts here. It's 1-1-7 apiece, and we're on true centre wing on the broadcast side.
Tap one by Van Meel. Went to the feet of O'Brien, bounced back into the hands of Archard, who went searching by hand to Davis. Bulldog forward by Lachlan Walker. Over the line for a boundary throw in. Half forward, broadcast side. They kick to the scoreboard end in this opening term to the reigning premiers, Melton. Forced to go the long way around to endeavour to find another place, a berth in a McDonald's Carlton Draft BFNL Grand Final. The throw in, tap one by Archard. Knocked it back towards the boundary. All players quite happy to see it over the line for a repeat throw in, half forward, broadcast side for the Bloods.
This scrappy start, I think, favours the underdogs in East Point. When the ball's fast, they're able to match Melton at the coalface. The Bloods just trying to find some control. As the ball spills it back, Archer first to react again. Davis dives in for Melton, but another bob should be the only result, although the umpire's giving this plenty of time, and eventually, as he puts whistles in the mouth, says, I'll throw it in the air, take inside centre wing.
You've seen East Point a lot this year, so what are East Point missing with Geordie Johnson? Plenty of exit out of stoppage?
Yeah, exit out of stoppage, pace on the footy. They're going to have to try to find other avenues, as umpires picked out a free kick. It's going to go the way of maybe one of those avenues. It's going to go the way of Filmer, the youngster. Will have the footy on half back here on the broadcast side.
So Filmer went to go by hand, now foot. Lead up mark was good from Whittaker. So an important touch in the opening half of this first term here. It goes along the line, looking out there towards Taylor. But a swarm of Bloods, Heaney and Archard ensure that a fist sees the ball over the line for a boundary throw in 65 metres around from the East Point goal.
Good start by the veteran Brad Whittaker, getting high up the ground with the improvement or the birth of Sean Robinson's able to play a more traditional centre forward role. As Van Meel wins this down inside 50. Jeffrey first react ground level, couldn't get it. Green Shield the inclusion this week. By hand, we'll find Maito. Still dump it out of defence with a high ball. Tough one for Archer to sit and wait and mark. Filmer, did he infringe? Umpire says yes. We'll come back towards the bigger size, Benny Archer, as he laterally comes inboard towards O'Brien. He marks, sees it off there towards Davis. Raking left foot kick usually. He's a wobbly one towards Kite. Gathered well, spins onto his left side. Right foot left will go inside 50 towards Carter, and he's got him. Attack the ball with full ferocity once again. Did last year's leading goal kicker Ryan Carter, and he'll line up directly in front from about 50.
Well, he's making it look like 70 at the moment as he continues to walk back near the middle of the ground, so he'll get some momentum through the ball. It'll take his best. Accuracy shouldn't be a problem. He's near directly in front here. It'll be all about, well, the distance won't be a problem. It will be about the accuracy, but the goal umpire does not move. East Point one touched on the line, but the goal umpire's all over it. The Bloods, they get back-to-back goals in the opening term to see themselves in front for the first time this afternoon. They're 2-1-13. They lead East Point 1-1-7. Goal apiece to the key forwards for Melton, Brenton Payne and Ryan Carter. Bryson McDougall has the sole goal for the Kangas.
Of course, kicked 7 goals last time these two sides met, did Ryan Carter, and looking good early here. That day, East Point didn't have Liam Howard. He's got the direct match up to start this afternoon, but won to Carter early as they take a 6-point lead, and we're back midway through the opening term here, live at the City Oval. Winning down again was Archard. Davis on hands and knees trying to shovel it out. It's wrapped up there by Dodd. As the ball does eventually come out, Filmer had a bright start, got boots the ball just in time. Dodd shoveled up towards Taylor. Merritt snaps around the body towards centre half forward. Murphy, the late inclusion, goes with the spoils. Opportunity here for McDougall at ground level to spin and weave his way through traffic. Right foot kick will go to the lead of Robinson. He has good hands. Farouj did well in the air, brought it to ground. Ball still alive with Canny. Now Robinson, left foot snap. Goal umpire doesn't move. Instant response, East Point.
He knows the goals, this young fella. Plays beyond his years. And no bigger occasion than a final at BFNL level for the youngster in the infancy of his senior career to level the score. So composure, forward craft, and the finish across the body on the left side. See scores level here, and the scoreboard's back up and in play. 2-1-13 apiece here in perfect conditions at City Oval.
Yeah, Robinson hasn't just woken us up in the commentary box. He's also woken up the scorekeepers, as you said, Todd. 2-1 apiece here, midway through the opening term here. Live at the City Oval, Archard and Van Meel to continue, as they will all afternoon, usually down Merritt, having a go in the midfield wraps things up. Been important the last couple of weeks as Jackson Merritt at centre clearance, spent most of the year across half forward, but has had big moments in big games. Of course, kicked the winner last week in the dying embers of the match against Sebastopol as Borg wraps this one up. And for a third time, we'll try to restart here in the middle of the beautiful City Oval.
Ball up, Van Meel. Archard won that tap. Hurry kick from Taylor. Just went into the shins of Johnson, who could have been held without it. The umpire paid the advantage. Taylor goes forward in the Robinson direction. That'll be nearly 50. The umpire agreed, and the youngster presenting just cannon into the back of Suter. And a bit of remonstrating going on deep in East Point's forward 50. But Suda will just pick up the ball and go forward with his 50-metre penalty.
Although the umpire just trying to check something out here. Thought he called 50 initially, as you said, Todd.
They haven't turned this against Melton, have they? It might be a shot on goal for East Point
wow.
here.
Wow.
So the charge initially from Robinson into the back of Suda was a 50-metre penalty for Suda, who was up on his bike ready to take the real estate and not remonstrate, but a few of the Bloods teammates got involved, and it's been flipped on its head, and Robinson's got a chance to kick goal number 2. Off to the right, let off for the Bloods. Should have taken advantage of that, the Kangas, but it's enough to give them the lead here at City Oval. 2-2-14. They lead the Bloods 2-1-13.
And the Melton faithful that have made the journey down this afternoon might be calling the word justice, as it's a 1-point ball game here. The Bloods through Phillips look to go long towards the outer side. Backing back almost marked out to Whittaker in the pack. Hot footy B1 will be locked up a long way away from us on the far side of the ground here. Midway through the opening term, a single point determines things at the moment. 2-2-14 East Point leading Melton 2-1-13.
Sunny skies overhead, can you believe it? It's beautiful conditions here. Johnson, dispossessed by Sullivan, tumbling left foot kick, committing to his cue, rebounded off his chest to Lovic. Could have been hung on to for too long, and he was. The umpire's picked out a free kick, and it'll go to the Premiership player with Lovic. He'll lower the eyes with the right foot kick and go wide to Merritt, who played on. Went by hand over to the youngster in Filmer. Tumbling kick forward in the Robinson direction. The spoil was good from Faruja. Ground ball opportunity here. Hand pass find out. Went towards the Melton D50. Hot footy. Who can gather? Slater couldn't. Ground ball. And there'll be a ball up 35 to 40 metres out from the East Point goal. So they'll be happy with that at the moment. East Point locking it inside their front half. They lead by 1 point midway to 3/4 of the way through this opening term.
They'll look for the likes of Joe Doddy to get on the move and be an option. Likes to kick the odd goal or two as O'Brien with a big fist though tries to clear D50. Cotter overran it. Right foot kick there from Phillips. Will go out towards Carter in a 1-on-1. Too big, too strong. Must have been touched off the boot. No, umpire does eventually put whistle to the mouth and pays the mark. Goes off to the teammate as Melton go inside 50 with no real clear direction. Getting back. Opportunity for Fraser, our man Smoking Joe, to clear D50, but this time is out in the full, and we have an opportunity for the Bloods to go inside 50 through Carter. Right foot kicks in towards Kite. Slater arrived late. East Point have the numbers. Q with the hand pass over top will find Lovic. Went back inside towards his captain in Johnston. Dumps the right foot kick, but only turned it back to where it came from. Mark's been taken there by Carter.
The Liam Carter with ball in hand will send the Bloods back into attack. Again, paying the target. Off hands. Ground ball shark there by Q. Measured the kick well along the line and found Filmer. No real sign of Lockie Watkins yet, an integral part of the midfield of the Bloods. He's had a quiet start, but Filmer goes along the line to true centering out of side. Players set themselves. A nice mark taken there by Merritt, who wants to get the ball moving. Could have gone inboard to Toulman, but went long inside 50. Ground ball opportunity here. How will it sit for McDougall? Well, it didn't. Chance here for East Point. Ball at the top of the goal square. Pressure terrific here. But the Bloods will get out of trouble through Minito, and his short kick was okay and found the youngster in Green Shields.
The Green Shields tries a little dodgy left foot kick out of fence. Minito made it better with the pickup. Goes back to where it came from. Opportunity for now Phillips to clear off halfback with a high left foot kick. Slater sets himself in the end. Didn't want a ball. Gets sneaks out the back. Goes for a little dance step. Hand pass over top for Geordie Kite. Gives it back to Ball. Tries to draw the man. Eventually they work it towards Carter. He laces ones out. Bullet-like pass. And nothing you can do as a defender there as Kite marks on his chest on a 45-degree angle about 35 metres out.
Yeah, the Bloods' best chain of the afternoon to date. It's in good hands. And more often is with anybody, any Blood inside 50 gets hold of the footy.
And it's twice now that the East Point defender has pressed up and been an easy marker back. First it was Carter. This time it was Borg, which resulted and generated this time to a shot on goal. In the hands of the right man, one of the best kicks in the entire competition. Braden Kite comes in from 40. It's on its way. Goal umpire does not move an inch. And Melton restore the lead here. They move to 3-1-19. East Point 2-2-14 as we approach time on in the opening term, I would feel.
Yeah, and the three big guns inside Melton's forward 50 all hitting the scoreboard in the opening term. Braden Kite, Brenton Payne and Ryan Carter. Whilst Bryson McDougall and Strawn Robinson have the goals for East Point. But we've got a game on here, just as we gave the Sun a rap for making a cameo appearance. It's just disappeared behind the cloud. But an entertaining game, so stick with us via the Red Onion Media Vision by the BFNL Match Centre. Carlton Draft McDonald's BFNL Final Series continues live from City Oval. And there'll be a restart right in the middle of the ground, attacking side for the Bloods.
Yeah, Johnston trying to shovel them out, could not do so as we're back underway with Archer winning it down. Watkins appears, couldn't get the handball away. Umpire almost put whistle to mouth. Canny in and under to Van Meel, slung. Umpire on the spot says incorrect disposal, holding the ball, free kick right away the Bloods. As continuing on with the tackle, won't result in 50, but an opportunity for Davis to reload. He plays on immediately to that left side. Piercing ball inside 50. Once again, that ball movement is exquisite from the Bloods. Hits Ryan Carter this time in the chest and wants to palm it off, and does. Didn't think he had the wheels in him when it just a required 15-minute pass towards a teammate in Watkins inside 50.
Well, they must be tuning in because as soon as we were questioning Watkins' arrival, as you mentioned so well earlier, Sammy, he's had about 3 touches in the last 3 minutes.
So Watkins, for 2 in a minute for the Bloods to get their game-high 11-point margin. Kick is on its way. Goalkeeper does move again. It's a wonderful strike and a wonderful goal. The Bloods, 4-1-25, lead East Point 2-2-14. Goal for goal start here. And a wonderful start at the City Oval in the first semi-final of McDonald's Ballarat Football Network League here live at the City Oval.
Yes, the Bloods just asserting their authority in the last 5 or 6 minutes of this opening term. Yeah, their front six posing a real worry for their opposition.
Just been their foot skills for mine, Todd. Just wonderful blowing their eyes and able to find one of those prominent forward targets inside 50 on the lead.
Archard with the short sleeve now was outpointed by Van Meel on that occasion. Bouncing ball to centre wing. Tillman managed to get a hand pass away to Taylor. The smother was terrific. Good defence there from the Bloods. But the ball bounced into the hands of Van Meel, who went by hand to Tillman, who found Walsh, who went along the line, and the kick was okay to half forward to Taylor. Wasted no time. Tillman kept running, did well, went long with the left, deep into the pocket. Players set themselves. Clever tap over the top. McDougall will get his second. Terrific work from the East Point forwards to get it done.
Again, it's the coach with a handy hand in there, Todd. Just
yeah, the footy smarts.
Just to knock it on. And that's that goal that they contended there. Not for the actual goal itself, but from the work from Jackson Mary in the pocket to keep that ball alive and knock it into the path from McDougall. He has 2. He's on today. East Point 3-2-20, trail Melton 4-1-25.
The important goal, Sammy, in the context of the afternoon, with the Bloods just getting back-to-back goals again for a second time today. But that's been reduced to 5 points on the back of that McDougall goal.
Hugely one down as Archer tried to go the big fist. Johnston is jumped on by Campbell. As the wind's just starting to pick up here at the City Oval, favouring left of screen for the majority of the afternoon. And we're back underway with Archer winning it down. Russell unable to gather. Archer gets it back himself, says, I'll just dump it towards half forward. Carter in front. Look away hand pass was more in hope to Davis. Made it look better. Coughed it up to Lovic. He goes wide towards Taylor. Has to take the tackle and elects to hold it in. So we'll get a ball up on the half forward line here in the latter stages of the opening term here live at the City Oval.
Another chance for the Bloods. Ball up, tap one by Archer, went through the hands of Button. Shark there by Russell before a stoppage. So a restart right on the corner of half forward. Broadcast side for the Bloods. It'll be Archer again. We'll give him that tap. Loose ball at ground level. Just ushered forward there by Lovic. Fortuitously found another Kanga over there towards the youngster there in Conlon, who found Jeffrey just inside the boundary line, a kick and a half away from goal. So he wastes no time, penetrating kick to the hot spot. Good defensive pressure there from forward work there by McDougall. Ball went loose, found Suda. Suda found Manito. He got it to Cotto, found Archer, back to Manito. Went with the right berth. They got the overlap here, and the Bloods are away. Payne can run his measure. He does. He had Carter all on his own, but he went the longer option to a 3-on-1. Should have went to Carter, but fighting harder there is Geordie Kite. He'll concede a free kick there, you'd think, for over the shoulder. Oh, lucky to get away with it. And there'll be a ball up 25 metres out from the Melton goal.
Great call there, Toddy, as well. As if I'm Ryan Carter, I'm dirty on Payne there. I have my opponent burnt on the lead. As a former forward, that kind of stuff. I love when they get the opportunity to lead out and just bust their chest open, but couldn't find him, didn't use him. Missed opportunity for the Bloods as they lock things up inside 50. 5-point margin here, latter stages of the opening term. Melton in front for the majority of the opening term. East Point had their moments, though. Have definitely come to play this afternoon at the City Oval. Neutrally down again. Clever knock on there to Carter by Carter to a dangerous area. Walker first to react. We ushered towards the boundary line. Look away hand pass from Jack Walker. Only found Mitch Walsh. Gave it back to Jack Walker. Right foot snaps across the body and marked in the square.
Yeah, guess who? So Liam Carter, I think, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal from directly in front, about 10 metres out, point-blank range. And another handy goal. You'd expect, given the nature of the way these two sides play, we're in for quite a high-scoring affair with the rain staying away.
As Liam Carter should have no problem popping through his first of the day as he joins brother Ryan, Watkins, Kite and Payne on the score sheet for their 5 goals thus far this afternoon. Whilst at the other end, McDougall has 2 and Robinson, the other goal kicker for East Point. 11 points, a game high margin here at the City Oval this way of the Bloods.
Yeah, they'd be happy going into the quarter time break, the Bloods, with this 11-point separation. There hasn't been a great deal between the two sides, but as you spoke of, a couple of changes handed by foot has probably warranted the difference on the board at the moment.
That's the keys for Melton getting it done on the score sheet. All got 1. They looked a bit too big, too strong, and just simply too good at the moment in the opening term. And worrying signs for East Point's defence. So we knew we were going to be challenged by what is a far superior forward line than most sides in the competition.
Archard and Van Meel to go head-to-head. Tap won by Archard. Loose ball gathered from Button out of the congestion, found Cotter, and they're away to half forward, out of side. Kite presents. He started well, the captain, albeit joint captain. He's got Archard short. Went over his head and went to the longer option and found Carter. Speak of Ryan on this occasion, they're proving a real handful when they present. Just keep kicking the ball to them, Sammy.
The kick 7 last time these two sides played, and he's on track to do the same again. He keeps getting this sort of serves back off the footy, though. It's just watching a bit of push and shove from Matty Johnston and Lockie Watkins, both never shy from the feisty stuff, and a couple that might be looked at during the week. There was a bit of very argy-bargy.
Can join McDougall as multiple goal scorers this afternoon, albeit this first term. Oh, he's hit the post off to the left. So a let-off for the Kangas. They're looking ominous, the Bloods. 5-2-32. They lead East Point 3-2-20.
So opportunity for Gangley to get a clean disposal. He's had a monster month, actually, averaging 30 touches a game, been real quarterback. Hardly signed at the start in this opening term. Being a hot footy, a Slater now will go long from the fence towards the outer side. Big fly from the front, and again, it's the height and the strength of Melton. Archer will go inside 50. Johnston desperate to get across. Couldn't get in the way. The mark is taken there by by Payne, just outside 50.
There's a strong mark, albeit on the chest. Some heavy collision there with Johnson and Payne.
This is not beyond him, Toddy. He's a thumping strike of the Sharon from 55. He's all of a chance, but here. So Payne opens it up. Loads up a long ball. It's going to fall short in the square. My favourite, Kite, who flies high, couldn't take the mark. Fraser will clear defensive 50 for the moment, although Cotter takes the mark just inside the paint. In the dying embers of the opening term, Geordie Cotter has it. He'll wait for the leads. Isn't a bad strike with Sharon himself, so might fancy his chances. Doesn't get many opportunities to kick many these days. The science department of went for the lead of his captain and Kite. Was cut off there by East Point. Ball alive. Q will clear D50. Nice chiseling ball. Finds McDougall at half back.
Yeah, McDougall with ball in hand. They just had the outnumber there. The kick from Cotter was just a bit ordinary, really, by definition. So the short kick. Big Conlon with ball in hand, is it?
Yep.
And so he'll go along the line. Into the side was Jeffrey. Nice grab there by the youngster. Yes, true, he is a young man. And with ball in hand, he'll need to get the ball moving because there couldn't be long left in this opening term, albeit been 8 goals kicked in it. 2-on-1, Bloods numbers prevail, and it's Phillips who'll play on and go lateral and switch play to Archard, who's pushed back inside the Melton D50.
We go wide looking for the speedster in Borg. Takes the mark, halfback. Well held on the mark, though, wasn't able to go immediately. Now goes off his line, tries out the non-preferred. Kick will favour East Point behind the footy. High contact, you would have thought, and a free kick. Ball should come back towards centre wing. Just a stray arm coming through there from Kite. Collected his direct opponent high, and Sam Q will be able to reload here from the defensive side of centre wing for East Point. Trail by 12 points in the dying embers of what is the opening term here live at the City Oval.
So Q, right on Q, goes with the right boot to the attacking 50. Wide kick, poor one at that. Cut off there by Liam Carter, who's pushed right back behind the ball. Such was the slow movement of East Point. Siren sounds, quarter time here at City Oval. It's the Bloods, the reigning premiers in this do-or-die first semi-final. They lead East Point by 12 points. They're 5-2-32, East Point 3-2-20.
And for the Bloods, it's 5 individual goal kickers in the opening term, with both Carters on the board, Payne on the board, Kite of the Braden variety on the board, and Lachlan Watkins, their last goal kicker. For East Point, it's 2 to Bryson McDougall, 1 to the youngster Sean Robinson in the opening term. But it's been a fast sort of game here, Toddy. End-to-end sort of stuff. Both sides have shown a fair bit for mine in the opening term of what their best footy has for us installed this afternoon.
Indeed. I'm not sure East Point are going to be able to keep Melton under 14 or 15 goals today, so they need to be on point, their front six, with their opportunities in front of goal. The Kangas, they're to get it done today. It's going to be a high-scoring affair. It's
a packed house this afternoon at the City Oval. Let's take a break. We'll be back to unwrap the opening term here live in the first semi-final between East Point and Melton. Welcome back for the first semi-final here live at the City Oval. At quarter time, it's Melton 5-2-32 to East Point 3-2-20. Todd, so make the opening term here for me, because for mine, I felt like East Point actually showed some pretty good pleasing signs there, but again, it was just the class of Melton coming to the forefront. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, indeed, and I think all Melton's big guns are just having more of an influence than East Point's keys at the moment. Not to say that the spread from East has been handy. You know, they're still in the game. Obviously, they just trail by the 12 points, but there's worrying signs when the Carters and the Paynes and the Kites are taking marks inside forward 50.
You just feel like it's centre clearance to the minute every time Melton get it. They feel like it's going to generate score. If they get pace on the footy at the front of the contest, they seem to be unstoppable, and there's no answers in the back six for East Point at the moment.
Yeah, it's more trying. It's more of an effort to watch East Point try and go forward than it is Melton with the link up handball and precise use by foot. No surprise they are the reigning premiers. Just lost the 3 games this year, just the 2 the previous year. So Tim's endeavouring to go back-to-back in his swan song season in charge of the Bloods. And Merritt taking upon himself to go into the middle of the ground to join Johnson in the middle.
He's been important again this afternoon early to keep your side within touching distance as we get the second term underway. And on cue, Merritt with the hand pass gets it off to Van Meel. They get the opening centre clearance towards Trusenar forward. Opportunity for Cotter. Caught from behind, stolen by Matt Johnston. Runs around to his non-preferred side with a left foot kick to go inside forward 50. Bouncing ball will favour Robertson at the back. Got rid of Faruja early. They'll be happy just to lock things up and gain a little bit of momentum in the opening 20 seconds here inside forward 50. They trail by 12 points.
Gee, there really are chips in on Robinson. He's a real likely type, and they're going to him more often than not.
He's their number 1 target as the umpire's pinned against Archard in the ruck for a block. Always one of those ones. They're real 50-50 calls, those ruck infringements. You sort of look left and right and never know which way the umpire's going to go. This time's gone the way of East Point, and Joel Van Meel will have a shot on goal from about 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Doesn't kick many, as the right foot kick's going to go right to the heart of the line. Phillips with the fist will see it through for a rush behind. It's 11 points here once again at the City Oval.
Yeah, it needed a 44-metre shot on goal, did Van Meel there. Came up one short or one shy, take your pick. Margin now 11, was 12 at the change. Kick out of defence is good and found Cotter. They've been good by foot today, the Bloods. Way up the options, he'll go along the line. Borg overhead, juggling attempt, couldn't take the mark. 3 East Point players swarm Borg. Denying exit, there'll be a ball up, you'd think, and or boundary throw-in. But the central umpire assumes the authority and will ball it up just inside the boundary line on half forward, out of sight of the ground for East Point, who trail by 11 points.
Red blemish there from Borg's been important early, the racehorse, as Van Meel knocks this one very close to the line, and Borg, that man, trying to wrap around from the contest, trying to keep it in, ran out of real estate, and now we get more of a traditional restart with a boundary throw-in towards, we're in between centre wing and half forward on the far side from our broadcast position. Van Meel and Archer will continue their battle. Long throw in will favour Archer in front. Van Meel, though, gets the fist. Knocking his own advantage then was Melton and Borg. Suda off half-back, broke the tackle. Hand pass was a good one. Opportunity here for Sullivan on his preferred side. We'll go with the left foot kick inside 50. Looking for Carter, forced to spoil on this occasion. And well played to the youngster Liam Howard there. Worked his way in the front. And not, I guess, gun shy after what's been a horror start for their defence.
Awkward looking kick's going to be cut off by Cotter, who's known for his intercepting marking in season 2023. And he's up on his bike with a right foot kick deep into attack. Players set themselves. Howard got a fist on the ball. Johnson got the handball received and gave it to Conlon. They went boundary side. Did he run out of space, Toolman? One of the boundary umpires has adjudicated out of bounds on the full, and it'll be Cotter with a different version of a rebound from an out of bounds on the full free kick, and he'll bring the ball back into play and send the Bloods deep into attack.
Runs the 60 high ball towards the top of the square, backing back, and a nice mark should be paid to the man in front there in Johnston. Disregard for his own safety, just backed back and took a wonderful grab as he looked to come out of his back six. Elects to just chisel one down the middle towards Slater. Good by foot usually. We'll go long towards the outer side as East Point looked to rebound with the hand pass over the top towards Dodd. Stepped around the whoopie tackle inside towards Liam Canny. Right foot kick's going to favour McDougall's in front. He marks 50 out from goal. Won't have the journey from here, so wants to go quickly. Held up in the end. Thumps away towards the top of the goal square. Looking for Robinson! Got it! Oh, there's something about this 16-year-old kid, Toddy. He's got all the tools. He's the total package, and he marks 5 metres out from goal.
Yeah, we need someone to check his birth certificate.
Man Mountain, at the age of 16.
But the craft, so the coaching that this young fella's had, I don't know much. He's obviously got natural ability, but the coaching that he's had in his young years has obviously been on point. They've identified him as an important forward early, and he's got it done again for the Kangas. And he gets goal number 2, matches McDougall with 2 as well. Both of them kicked 3 last week, and they're back within 5 points here at City Oval. Melton 5-2-32, East Point 4-3-27, near 5 minutes gone second term.
What I love about it, Strawn Robinson, Todd, is he's still growing. I know that's the thing with 16-year-old kids, but he's not quite developed to being a key forward yet. Once he gets that extra maybe 5 centimetres and he hits a little bit more of a growth spurt, he's going to be unstoppable at this level.
Bit of Dan Jordan about him, Sammy.
Oh. Early signs, yes. As we get back underway here at the City Oval, Archer wins it down decisively this time. Trying to sock it to his own advantage there was Davis, stolen by Taylor. As East Point go from the centre clearance through Dodd towards half forward. Jeffrey able to see it out the back. Suda adds support for Melton. Elects to keep it in by tap towards the voice of Cotter. He handballs over the top, but his opponent, his teammate stood there and waited as Wilson left his direct man and was able to gather the footy and see it over the line. Boundary throw incoming, 55 from goal. A 5-point margin here in what's been goal for goal this afternoon thus far at the City Oval.
Throw in will be Archard and Van Meel to combat the ruck duel. Shallow throw in, tap one by Archer to no real advantage of either side as the ball finds its way back over the line. And the boundary umpire will get a take 2 to get this one a little bit deeper back into play. Melton lead by 5 points. Robertson with the sole goal in this second term. Throw in. Good pressure. Umpires picked out a free kick here. It's going to go the way of the Kangas. And it'll be Lovig with ball in hand against Lockie Walker.
It's a hold down the field. Heaney and McDougall was worried about Bryson getting on the lead and wrap the arms. And as soon as you do that, Toddy, and take your eyes off the ball carrier, which Heaney did on that occasion, he was always going to be pinned for the infringement. And McDougall will have an opportunity to put the Kangas back in front on a 45-degree angle from about 25 metres out.
And another shot on goal from a free kick for East Point. Robinson unable to get it done in that first quarter. So they'll be endeavouring to convert here, the Kangas, make the most of their opportunities against the more favoured Bloods this afternoon, and he doesn't let his side down, McDougall. He's got 3 at City Oval. Each point have got 5, and they've got the lead back. They're 5-3-33. They lead the Bloods 5-2-32, back-to-back goals for the Kangas in this second term.
The curious case of Bryson McDougall always intrigues me, Todd. We've seen him in the midfield this year. We've seen him high up forward. We've seen him deep at times. He's played pretty much every 18 positions on the ground in season 2023. And when he's on, he's one of the very best. 3 goals in this opening half thus far and gives the Kangas a 1-point lead here. 5-3-33 to 5-2-32 live at the City Oval as we get back underway with Archer and Van Meel. Archer wins it down, elects to go towards Davis. His left foot kick towards half forward, bounces in front of Liam Carter. Kite, strong, able to gather the football, wheels and deals, hand pass off to Mojito, steps around the would-be tackler, steadies, right foot kick towards full forward, it's a beauty. Johnston again back with courage, maybe a collected in front on, umpire says no, Archer doesn't care because he snaps and he puts Melton back in front.
Yeah, goal for goal here at City Oval. Tick under 8 minutes gone in this all-entertaining first semi-final here. Melton 6-2-38, East Point 5-3-33. Gee, both sides look very dangerous when they get it inside their forward 50, Sammy.
Oh, it's an exciting afternoon thus far, Toddy. We've had, 11 goals in a quarter and 8 minutes thus far, end-to-end, goal for goal, however you want to say it. It's been terrific to watch from the neutral perspective here, live at the City Oval this afternoon. The first semi-final of the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League final series here, as Melton have just taken their lead back in front. 5-point leaders here in the second term.
Sun makes another cameo appearance in a shootout at City Oval. Stick with us via the Red Onion Vision and the BFNL Match Centre as Menino with a clearance out of the middle of the ground sends the Bloods back into attack. Chance here for Fraser, who went by head to Lobe. He got it back to Fraser, the youngster. He nearly threw it away. But butters up well, and now negotiates by hand to Joe Dodd, who went with the trusty left boot to a 2-on-2. Merritt knocked it forward, kept the ball alive, put Phillips under the pump. Searching hand pass meant for Suda. Went to ground, then regained his feet, combined with Cotter. Back to Suda. Now gave it towards Phillips, who went along the line towards half forward. The Kangas have got numbers with a squarey kick back into the middle of the ground, but only as far as O'Brien will cut it off for the Bloods.
And go towards half forward with the kick to find Carter. Will lower his eyes, look for the lead there of Borg. Just bounced in front of him. The race also steps around a whooping traffic. Got the amble away just in time, and East Point's defence survives as Conlon here of halfback is able to waltz out of the fence with a high ball towards Robinson and Faruja. Robinson back with courage, couldn't hang on this time. Cotter at ground level, off the green shields, gives off there to Liam Carter. There's plenty of it. Mahino, green shields, left foot kick goes inside 50. East Point with the numbers in the air. Walsh spoiled his own teammate more than anything. Howard dumps it out of the fence, was looking for Murphy. Got the unkind bounce to start with. Favoured O'Brien, who's in a pack of 4 East Point players, and the numbers prevail. Taylor will go over the top with a dodgy little kinky kick towards McDougall. Sits up for him, looks to go inside 50. No! Boundary umpire on the spot said it went out of play right in front of us, Toddy. Did that ball cross the line?
I don't know. The boundary umpire in perfect position, but I tell you, when it did go over the line, there was 15 or so players from both sides with hands on heads screaming out for a stoppage, and they got one.
Johnston with the clearance, gives it off there to Taylor. He goes inside 50. Jeffrey in front. Oh, Normie has good hands. Couldn't hang on this time. Cotter did enough to bring it to ground. Dodd wrapped up and sandwiched the ball between him and an opposition player. Ball up 50 from goal.
Melton lead by 5 points here at City Oval. There's the ball up, tap one by Archer. Knocked it towards half back. Cut off here by the Kangas. Here they go again through Filmer. Right foot kick inside 50. McDougall the target. Why not? He's already kicked 3 from the pocket. Don't tell me something out of nothing. Oh, cut off at the goal line by Ferrugia. Calm as you could possibly see, and went by the right boot and found Walker on half back. Dribbling kick to Kite. Normally clever and ran away. Can take a bounce, the joint captain. He's got some toe when he wants to. And the right foot kicks terrific and found Russell, who took an overhead mark 55 metres out from goal and can send the Bloods into attack. Carter the target. Each point got numbers at ground level. Johnson went to ground, but not before he fired the hand pass away. Filmer's kick, hurried one at that, got it to half-back. Taylor the target, now the Bloods have got numbers. Russell's kick across the body, went through the hands of Carter. There's Johnson again, who went by hand towards Walsh. Hurried kick away from the congestion, went in the Filmer directions. He's had a bit of it, the youngster, and the right foot kick's okay, and found Tillman just outside the defensive 50 for East Point.
Take a breath, Toddy, well called in that whole play. Frantic stuff, end-to-end stuff, as Tillman goes with the short kick towards Taylor. Always the link in the chain. Geordie Taylor takes the mark half back as a bit of push and shove off. The footy continues here. It's been a hot affair all afternoon at the City Oval. His kick's a poor one. Davis couldn't quite gather. Bouncing ball going towards McDougall. Greenshields the tackle will lock up Murphy on the defensive side of centre wing for East Point. 5-3-33 trails 6-2-38 midway through the second term here live in the first semi-final in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League.
Yeah, taxing football. Ball up, tap one by Van Meel towards centre wing, and Conlon didn't break stride, ran on, went to an open forward line. Robinson, he's got it again!
Oh, he's a superstar, Toddy. That kick had no right for him to mark that one. Just backing back. Ferrugia had position A, but he just willed himself to it. And strong hands once again. He's got arguably, for a young fella, some of the best hands in the competition.
Yeah, we've got a shootout unfolding here in front of us, and Robinson a chance for goal number 3 to match Bryson McDougall to make up, well, all 5 of the goals at the moment with a kick to come. And Robinson will walk away from us here. 45-degree angle. How is it? It goes across the face. Won't even get the journey. Players set themselves and they grab. McDougall's got it. Well, from one goal shark to another. McDougall, well, now with a shot for goal number 4.
I think after the game, he'll say he meant that. The old set play into the pocket. McDougall, 20 out. They practice these kicks so much these days, Toddy. Just a couple of steps and bend it through the big sticks. McDougall laying up for number 4. Takes a couple of steps, bends around the body, and pops it over the goal umpire's hats. East Point take a 1-point lead here once again at the City Oval. 14 minutes played, 6-3-39 to 6-2-38. 4 goals to Bryson McDougall.
Yeah, if the commentators curse not getting hold of McDougall there, you just called it as if you'd already seen it there, Sammy. Great one at that, and McDougall didn't let you down with the finish. Goal number 4. So a handful for the Bloods' defence. So they'll need a rethink in the back half. Lee Wilson, the defensive coach for Melton, has obviously got 2 to worry about down there at the moment, primarily McDougall and Robinson.
Yeah, he'll be scratching his head for answers at the moment as we're back underway. Archer wins it down. What East Point have been good is going to get in these centre clearances, and they look to go forward again. Forced to do the tackling this time. It's Button to lock things up with some assistance from Cotter, who came off the square. Defensive side of the ground, centre of the ground. Canny was a man from the bottom of the pack. We'll go once again from the restart. Archer and Van Meel. Archer gets hands on it first. Davis got the hands free with the hand pass, was stolen there by Van Meel. We'll go inside 50 towards McDougall. Got the unkind bounce. Ferrugia now moved on to him. Knocks it to his own advantage in the pocket. McDougall keeps it alive. Filmer's had plenty of it. High kick will go towards the hot spot. Looking for Robinson again. This time out moved. Waiting on ground level. He was this time as Phillips though will clear D50 with a high ball. Archer the target. Fisted it on forward. Hot footy of course. Archer got it there towards, was Button. Now to Watkins. Stiff arm, couldn't go away from Q. Now Russell. Gave the hand off to Jack Walker. Broke the tackle in the end. Back to Russell. High kick down the line. 2-on-1 favour East Point. Hits the turf. Payne coming through. Did well. Got it off there towards Kite. Great tackle by Taylor. Will hold things up here, you would think, on true centre wing. Although the ball spills 3 just at the end. And Caddy comes away with it. Lateral ball's a good one as he's dumped as he kicks and found Filmer.
I thought the umpire's whistle fell out of his mouth there. Such was that tackle from Taylor, but the umpire let it go. Kick from Filmer, went to the attacking 50. Chance here for Robinson. So the lazy left foot kick territory, one of that in the Jeffrey direction. Just bounced off his foot in the end and went out of bounds on the full. In fact, it was the Bloods defender in Heaney that will allow Jeffrey with a tough shot on goal here. He's very dangerous around goal, and he's going to have a pot here with the left boot across the body. Let's see how he goes. It's not a bad effort, but it'll go across the face. No score. Thumped through by Archer. He covers the ground, the Essendon VFL listed big man. It was important again then. And East Port extended a 2-point lead. 6-4-40. They lead Melton 6-2-38. 16 and a half minutes gone second term.
Footy's been so frantic at the moment that, Melton, they normally like to play a bit more control and try to chip it around their back half. They've been denied access to do so thus far, as Phillips plays on for fullback and goes long with the traditional kick towards the outside. Big fly from the East Point player, but Archer, the biggest man in the hole, takes the mark. They want to go quickly here towards Walker. Goes inside towards Kite. Cut off, coming through was Taylor. Read like a book and almost picked his pocket. Knocked at the ground. Tillman locked up there with Button. Ball sandwiched between them. Taking side of the centre of the ground. 2-point lead to East Point. We'll get a ball up to get things back underway in pretty much the centre of the ground here at the City Oval.
Yeah, their pressure's been far better in this second term from the Kangas as Canny tries to extricate by hand. Searching one at that, only to a swarm of players. Johnson tackled by 2 or 3 Bloods. Ball spills free to another pack of players, but stolen away there by Button, who went to ground. Scrappy moments here. Hurried kick forward to the attacking 50. Minito with courage was strong overhead, and he wastes no time, and he's off. Right foot kick, penetrating one at that towards outer side half forward. Again, East Point have the numbers, as they have done so many a time in this second term. It's been a good watch defensively from the Kangas in this term. The left foot kick from Ganley went off, hands it over the line for a boundary throw-in on half forward outer side of the ground for the Bloods.
Yeah, well cut off there by Carter, just to get a handy hand in there as they try to absorb the foot in their front half for the first time in a little while here. Melton, East Point, trailing by 12 points at the major break, have denied real access for Melton inside 50 this term. They go in by a fist this time. Lovick doing the tackling, brings it to ground. Opportunity at ground level here for Walker of Melton. But in the end, umpire Adrian Newley says, give it to me, I'll throw it in the air. Just 55 metres out from goal this time. An opportunity once again for the Smalls, for Melton to get on the move here. The likes of Borg have been prominent early for them. O'Brien wins it down. Inside 50 it goes. Walker, once again, sandwiched the ball between him and Johnston. And again, the umpire's going to come in here as a bit of contested footy has come into play. 19 minutes gone in the second term here, live at the City Oval.
Can the Kangas hold out the Bloods in this forward thrust? Tap one by O'Brien on this occasion. Suitors push forward. That might be a free kick against Kite, and it was. The resultant free kick will go to the youngster in Canny. So with ball in hand, he'll get the Kangas out of trouble safely along the line, you would assume. And he does that. He obliges and gets to outer centre wing. Minito again in from the side. He's been important with a couple of strong overhead marks, a likely type. And Minito will rebound for the Bloods.
Keeps it low, trying to pick his way through the zone. In front, Van Mille almost cut it off and is driven into the turf. Umpire this afternoon, I think I've done well, Todd, to let the game continue to roll on. The balls are spilled out and not been locked up and allowed for a free-flowing affair this afternoon at the City Oval. Once again, we'll get going 55 metres out from goal or so. Big knockdown there by O'Brien. Davis, fancy footwork. Left foot kick towards top of the square. Will suit Carter in position A, and he's got it.
Yeah, good forward craft from the Bloods' leading goal kicker. Just ushering Howard under the footy. And we'll go back and have a shot on goal.
Yeah, had him dead to the rights there. Unfortunately, Howard in front. Kick always favoured Carter at the back. Used his strength, used his forward craft, as you well said there, Todd. And comes in from about 20 metres out to restore a Melton lead here live at the City Oval. Their first Melbourne goal kick of the afternoon as Carter goes to the turf. It's on at the top of the goal square once again. East Point will have to be careful here not to give away a silly free kick and generate another shot on goal for Melton, you'd feel.
And again, Sammy, a rare inside 50 for the Bloods in this second term. But at the end of the day, it equated to another goal. So
their efficiency this afternoon has been a pleasure to watch. And
Yeah.
I mean, when you've got a forward line that's that good, they don't need any invitations, do they, Todd?
Indeed. O'Brien's looks like he's given Archer a little spell in the ruck, and it's good to see the Bloods expanding with some rotation as that tap from O'Brien got onto the boot of Watkins. Hurried kick forward. It was a volley and found Russell, who presented on half forward. Chance here for the Bloods. Can they get back-to-back goals? Kick into the goal square, 2-on-1 off the hands of Walsh. Couldn't find a rush behind. He's forced to gather just inside the boundary line. How's the kick? Missed the target. Over the door for Russell. Todd got one high every day of the week. And the gritty little left footer will take a free kick and get the Kangas out of trouble.
Yeah, arguably, well, according to Jackson Merritt, was East Point's best last week. And he'll go from half back here. Long kick down the line. Safety first as we approach time on in the second term. Fisted towards boundary line there by O'Brien on the ricochet. We're going to ball in more centrally towards centre wing. Virtually opposite from our broadcast position. 7-2-44 Melton. They lead East Point 6-4-40 and what has been a fascinating opening half here live at the City Oval.
Couple of nervous onlookers for the Bloods. Riley Walker, and for the Kangas, Geordie Johnson looking on from the sidelines. Tap. Went fancied. Cotter had it stolen away from him. Murray kick inside 50 for the Kangas. Bouncing ball. Heaney does the defensive thing. Tapped it over the line for a boundary throw-in. Wouldn't have got away with that on a Friday night at AFL level, Sammy, but the umpires have been very consistent over this final series. They've done a fantastic job today.
Certainly have, Todd, and absolutely as deliberate as you and as intentional as you like there from Heaney, who's been swapped onto Robinson, and Farouj, the youngsters, going to McDougall. With McDougall having 4, Robinson have 2, they're just going to try to flip the magnets in defence there to try and get a change of luck or fortunes. Taylor spins on a dime. Clever right foot kick. Squaring ball. Marked there inside 50 by East Point.
It might be Tillman with ball in hand.
Yep.
45 metres out. He's a good-sized player, Tillman. I'm surprised he hasn't played more senior footy with that sort of, with that physique. He's quite an athletic type and could play, play half forward, wing, and provide an aerial target.
Absolutely, Todd. He's got a good tank. And today, I mean, majority of the season used across half back. Today started forward in return as he'll start his approach from 45. Kick is on its way. It's the way towards the near side, and the goal umpire did a merry dance to see it through for a minor score. 6-5-41. It trails 7-2-44 here live at the City Oval.
Yeah, very good. 7-2. Yep, 3 points the difference here. Well, in time on, it'll be Phillips, normally trusty by a foot out of defence, and he'll lope away to the outer side, onto that right boot. Plenty of clearance on the kick to half-back. Howard presented, just threw an arm at it in the end. Over the door for Watkins. Hurried kick smothered. Oh, how about the shark there from Dodd, and the kick over the top, the filmer. And the youngster has had a bit of it in this term. This will take the best from a light frame, you'd think, to get the journey with that tough breeze from about 45 to 50 metres out from goal. And just looking at his field kicking earlier throughout the afternoon. Now, I'm not sure whether he'll get this one, Sammy.
Yeah. I think it would have been better off to set up quickly towards the top of the square, but Max has backed himself. Kick is on its way. It's a good striker to Sharon. And a good finish. Never in doubt. Maxi Filmer puts East Point back in front.
Cue in the rack for me, Sammy.
trying to give him the Conte's curse. And Max said, I'm not having a bar of this, Toddy. I'm smashing that over the goal umpire's head for a goal.
I must take a walk out onto that ground and reassess that breeze. I mean, even the seagulls are blowing left to right at the moment.
A wonderful finish, though, by Filmer there. Big moment for the youngster. That's what has really impressed me with Jackson Merritt's coaching since taking over at East Point. Happy to back in the kids. That's you got Filmer, you got Wilson, you got Robinson, all eligible for the under-19s, all out there this afternoon. As Archer takes out the rug, dumps it inside forward 50. The Bloods looking for that instant response. Joe Fraser with the spoil will knock it out D50. Hot foot to be one, a true centre back. And the umpire comes in and says, I'll throw it in the air.
He's had in the teens disposals, I'm sure of it, Filmer. He's had plenty of the ball, the youngster. Covers the ground well.
Get back underway here, one down by Archer. Quick look away, hand pass was almost stolen there by Button. In the end, another ball with the own result as it's gang tackled and held between a bunch of players. You can throw a blanket or about 10. A true centre forward position here for Melton.
Ball up, Archard again won that tap. Umpires picked out a free kick. It's going to go against Archard. And not for the first time this afternoon, but Lovey with the advantage played on and found Toolman, who ran to outer side centre wing, threw ball onto the boot, went forward. Suter will cut it off, take an uncontested mark. Poor kick, and Suter will get the Bloods out of trouble. Come laterally to half back, and the sports car, speak of Borg, with the right boot, went along the line. Q didn't get enough of the fish. Ball stayed in play. Chance for Sullivan, dropped it. Umpire was blinded, didn't see it. Ball at ground level, stoppage imminent. There'll be a ball up. Attacking side of centre wing for the Bloods broadcast side.
Well played by Q there with the spoil. He's been one of the unsung heroes the last month of footy with the likes of Harry Gangley across half back. Archard wins it down. Toolman got an unkind bounce. Johnston didn't. Threw it away there towards Dodd, who was pile driving into the turf by Davis. Free kick. And Conlon will get the running hand pass over top towards Merritt at full stretch, who couldn't take the mark. Able to tap it and keep it alive for Tommy Conlon. He went without it. Davis went off the deck. Umpire lets it roll on. Dodd shoves it the hand pass towards Merritt, and eventually we'll get a ball in for the restart as they sort of mucked around with the footy a little bit too much there, East Point. With a bit of momentum, I think it was just time to bang on the boot, Todd.
Yeah, indeed. Glass half full for East Point in this term. Joe Dodd's really worked into the game well. Boundary throw in. Archard front position. He's been dominant with the hit-outs. But who got the clearance? He's opposing ruckman in Van Meel. Territory kick gained about 30 metres for his side over the line for a boundary throw in on half forward for East Point broadcast side. It's East Point who lead the reigning premiers by 3 points. Near 27.5 minutes gone, second term.
Ball back in. Van Meel works to the front this time, wins it down. Toolman in there as well as Dodd, who got it out to Conlon. Dumps it inside 50. Robinson on the move. Couldn't hang on this time. Could Sean Robinson. Ball still alive inside forward 50. Toolman got the hands free, got boots of ball. Canny trying to react at ground level. Faruja gave it quickly off there to Suter. His kick smothered. Ricocheted back to Blake. He got it off there towards Button. Threw it off to Cotter. And then an opportunity for Melton through Davis to get the footy over into Borg. They want to access the corridor. He elects to spread it wide towards Walker. Well done by the youngster Wilson. Got the hands free. Panicked with the kick a little bit, dumped it on the boot, still in front's McDougall, fisted away by Phillips, alive inside 50, right foot snap will go right to the heart of the goals, and it's fisted there by Heaney towards the pocket, and in the end rushed through for a minor score.
Yeah, great word choice under the pump there, Sam. Panic was the correct term for that kick from Wilson.
Well, at least it's something that wasn't PG when he got the footy in hand. He just got the fear of God in him, Todd, and something might have been trickling down his leg, if you catch my drift.
Indeed. The ball will come back into play. Phillips will lope away to the outer side of the ground. Right foot kick to half back. Target there was O'Brien, ground level ball. Umpires picked out a free kick. It's going to go his way. And the big man, O'Brien, with ball in hand. Former North Ballarat player, goes up and under to out of centre wing. Carter presents, couldn't take the mark. Johnson just got enough on the footy. Plays in from everywhere. And the umpire will come in and request a ball up on out of centre wing on East Point's side. They lead by 4 points, 29 minutes gone.
One down there by Melton. Some shark there by Johnston to go quick off with the hand pass. Ricochet between a few players. Umpire comes in and wants to sort things out. Incorrect disposal, he said. Free kick will go the way over O'Brien. Latch a ball to his second ruckman per se, he would say, in Benny Archard to load up from half back. The VFL listed player from Essendon. Spreads it across towards Phillips. Didn't get a kind bounce. Now has a problem. He tries to step around McDougall. Handball just in time. And I think the siren saves Melton from some late-term damage there as they try to, again, access the corridor, denied by East Point. 7-2-44 Melton. They trail East Point 7-6-48 in what has been a terrific, maybe the best half of footy we've seen in season 2023 thus far, Toddy.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. Both sides very dangerous inside their forward 50, but it was East Point's work rate to get the outnumber behind the ball to generate some impetus forward, which resulted in a 4-2 term over the Bloods, and to get to ring in a 12-point deficit at the first change into a 4-point lead at the half. So an entertaining game of football. Yep, you've hit the nail right on the head there, Sammy. A shootout at City Oval. We'd expect a few players to look a little bit gassed at the nature of the footy that we saw transpire in that opening half.
Well, I don't care about the players. Think about us commentators. I'm gas calling it, Toddy. It's been frantic stuff this afternoon.
Panic.
And in leading the shootout has been Bryce McDougall. He has 4 goals going into the halftime break. 2 to Strawn Robinson, 1 to Maxi Filmer, whilst for Melton. 2 to Ryan Carter, 1 to Liam Carter, singles to Payne, Archer, Watkins and Kite. So that's your goal kickers going into the halftime break. We need a breather. We need a drink. We're going to take a break here live from the City Oval. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes time to wrap the opening half of footy and call the final turn. A final half here live at the City Oval. Welcome back to the City Oval this afternoon for the first semi-final in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. At half-time, it's East Point 7 goals, 6-48, leading Melton 7-44. Sam Young, Todd Whelan bring all the action live this afternoon. Todd, as the players get into their final positions, a quick thought from you on how Melton can get themselves back in front here.
Well, fitter side wins for me. The Bloods well versed with this finals-like footy, and of course East Point. Two recent premierships to their name. So between them, I think they've combined for the last 3 really. And of course, there was the absent 2020 season and the abbreviated 2021. 9 goals have been kicked to the right of screen, 5 to the left. So it'll be interesting to see whether the Bloods can convert that advantage in this third term.
So once again, it'll be Archer and Van Meel to get us underway here at the City Oval. It's East Point by 4 points. Mutually one down. Johnston trying to shovel the hand pass towards Canny. Ducked the head, umpire Weiser to it. We'll say, I'll throw it in the air. So an anticlimactic start to what has been a frantic game thus far at the City Oval between Melton and East Point. We'll restart with Archer again, winning it down. Trying to just thrust it forward was Dodd as much as he could by hand. Toolman now with it. Go back towards Johnston. Gets the scrubby left foot kick inside 50. This time, though, Ferrugia reads the best and takes the mark inside D50.
Be interesting to see whether East Point can deny that habitual third quarter advantage that Melton have had over them at recent meetings. As they negotiate by foot out of defence, penetrating one at that, gets to half back, and it's Walker. Speaking of Lachlan, he went short to Cotter. He'll steady the ship on half back, goes wide to outer centre wing. Ryan Carter, a mile away from goal. Through centre wing, just inside the boundary line. We'll weigh up the options. You'll have Kite, Carter, brother, Liam, got it. Took a nice mark, out-pointed Walsh on that occasion. Played on by hand to Walker. He kept running, speaking of Lachlan, in the Kite direction. And it knocked away from him by Slater. Ground ball opportunity will result in a ball up just inside the boundary line. 25 metres away from the Bloods goal.
Yeah, good closure been there by Geordie Slater. As long as he's got the height on Kite, but Kite on the lead looked to outdone him, but got the fist in just in time. Trying to take out the ruck. There was Melton. They couldn't quite get it out. Dodd on hands and knees, just shoved it and fired it wide. And waiting for it in the end was Lovic. His right foot kicks in the Merritt direction. Fisted away there by Suter. Opportunity for Borg at half forward. The live wire looks for the central kick. Murphy overcommitted. Opportunity for Mahito. Stops, steadies, runs to 48, lines up the goals and fires into the pocket. And is it out in the full or on the line? The mark is going to be paid the way of Jordan Kite to the displeasure of Walsh, who thought it floated over the line, I think.
Both the boundary umpire and the goal umpire in perfect position to adjudicate that to be in play. And Geordie Kite with a shot on goal, crossed the body, was right, always right, and through for a minus score. The first of the third term. Melton closed that 4-point deficit from the half to 3. They're 7-3-45. Each point 7-6-48. 2.5 minutes gone, third term.
So blemish to start the second half as Lovick comes off half back towards a teammate, but it's quick waiting down there was Payne to dump it inside, forward 50. Fraser did well to get the spoil away and clear the fence. Mahito, gang tackle, pile drive into the turf and gone. Holding the ball, free kick, the way of East Point. Johnston just picks it up and takes the advantage. Look away, hand pass was superb to Canny. He chips it over top trying to find Jeffrey. But in the end, in the hole, the mark's taken by the big man Archer, who loads up a long ball inside, forward 50, looking for Carter. He has been too strong, one-on-one all afternoon, and this time will line up directly in front. And he's such a beautiful kick, Toddy, that I think he'll put Melton back in front of you.
He does that all too familiar 20-metre walk back from the mark for this shot on goal for a chance to put the reigning premiers and back-to-back minor premiers back in front here. 3.5 minutes into this third term. Predominantly played all in Melton's front half. Carter gets plenty on the kick. As the accuracy, it's pretty good. The crowd likes it. The Bloods are back in front here at City Oval in the McDonald's Carlton Draft first semi-final via Red Onion Media Vision and the BFNL Match Setup.
Well called there, Toddy. Melton back in front. Carter has 3 to his name this afternoon. Only Charles McDougall on the ground with 4 at the other end for East Point. 3-point margin, early stages, third term action here. Live at the City Oval. Melton regaining the lead through their spearhead, Ryan Carter.
At the restart, can the Kangas respond? Well, the third quarter Blues continue against the Bloods. Archard will hit, knocked it to the advantage of Borg. Got the overlap, overkicked the hand pass. Cut off well there by, might have been Filmer. Kick across the body to outer centre wing's been cut off there by, well, the leading intercept marker of the competition in Cotter, who went short to Button. Drew the man in Johnson. Cotter kept running. Right foot kick to a vacant pocket. Bouncing ball. Well, both of them got a bad one, but Walker gathered. Loose hand pass went to Slater. He coughed it up. Gave it to Kite. Last line and the forward line. Can they knock it through? The Kangas, they can't. The shot on goal has been touched by Walsh and through for a minor score. And the Bloods extend to a 4-point lead, the exact lead the Kangas had at the half. 5 minutes gone, third term.
Crowd really coming into it here, the travelling fans for Melton, as Gangley negotiates the pass out of defence. This time just goes laterally towards Lovick, happy to go over the top. Murphy working up, takes the mark, deep in the fence. He'll go towards centre wing, sits on the head of his direct target, was collected heavy. Should be a free kick the way of East Point or come back. Just the defensive side of centre wing in between there and half back. An opportunity for the Kangas to load up from the half back line. They have Walsh laterally, but want to continue to go down the line. Toolman's the intended target, but he left it for Johnston. He marks on true centre wing. So the captain with it, able to load up for East Point as they look to respond. Melton started lively in the third term. High ball towards half forward. McDougall, the intended target, forced to spoil on this occasion. Taken there by Jake Tillman. Left foot kick will go towards the heart of the goal square. Opportunity for a one-on-one contest. Running through. Should we get boots of ball off the deck? No. And somehow they don't score a goal there, East Point. It's rushed through by Suter from behind.
Ryan Carter will bring the ball back into play. An unfamiliar role. The kick in out of defence. Right foot kick. Might have been Russell or Jack Walker on that occasion. Short kick found Minito. It was Phillips, in fact, who found Minito. Been okay today. Right foot kick towards outer centre wing. Players set themselves. Liam Carter had front position. Ball went to ground. Umpires picked out a free kick. It's going to go the way of Jack Walker against Lovick. So it'll be Jack Walker, the endurance beast for the Bloods. He'll square the ball riskily. Went through the hands of Minito, but he kept his feet, and he'll be rewarded for that. Hand pass found. Heaney got it to Cotter. Drew the man that took the body contact. Went by hand to Sullivan. Speaking of use of the body, Braden Kite. Too crafty. Took a nice mark 50 metres out from goal. And a chance for back-to-back goals for the Bloods to kickstart this third term. 7 minutes gone.
Yeah, it was one of those classic kicks there by Sullivan, just more to space than anything. And, Kite just showed all his experience there. Little slight push in the side, which you're allowed to do. Wants to palm it off, though. And the mark is taken there by Davis. a little bit closer to the goal, tighter angle to work with. Is a left footer though, so could open it up here from about 35 if he would like to just reduce that acuteness of the angle. So Davis with a shot on goal now coming up.
The Seagull on the mark.
Well picked up, Toddy. We'll have a couple to negotiate as he starts his approach. I reckon the man on the mark is pointing that out to Ryan. It's very close to the man on the mark. Wobbly kick is on goal. Floats across the face and is a minor score. Did not strike that cleanly whatsoever. Melton 8-5-53. Lead East Point 7-6-48 here, live at the City Oval.
It'll be Lovey to bring the ball back into play. Conlon, the target, had it knocked away from him by Heaney. And again, knocked it straight out of bounds. And again, for deliberate. It's about the 20th one we've seen over the final series. The first one paid. And the recipient, Tom Conlon, with ball in hand. Seagulls wanting a handball, receive, ignored. And Conlon went along the line. It was cut off by Faruja. He's had some presence behind the ball today. Strong overhead, the youngster. An interleague representative against the Hampton League earlier this year. Squaring kick had to be good, and it was. And it found Suter, who can go further to outer centre wing to Borg, who marks unattended. Lovick presents onto the mark, but drew the man, and he kept going. Right foot kick towards the attacking 50. Grand ball opportunity here for East Point. They got the numbers. Sullivan kept his feet though, but not before East Point can negotiate by hand. They went goal side only as far as Davis. High up and under kick, shallow entry inside 50. They'll pay the mark. Howard's commitment was good. Did everything but take the mark at the end. Ground ball will result in a stoppage 45 metres out from the Melton goal.
I'm back with this Melton. I will lock it up inside 50. Done all the scoring in this third term thus far. 8-5, 53-7 goals, 6:48. O'Brien unopposed. Knocked it to Watkins on the move. Left foot snap from the pocket. Went for glory. Is out on the full. No score registered. Still a 5-point margin in the way of the Bloods, who continue to press inside forward 50 here, kicking to the right of screen in the third term, live at the City Oval.
So Tillman to bring the ball back into play. Went short, overcooked the kick, and the mark's been taken there by Braden Kite. We'll go back and endeavour to make the Kangas pay for that poor exit kick with a shot on goal and a chance to extend the margin beyond 5 points here, the current margin. Near 10 minutes gone, third term. Predominantly played in Melton's front half, and Kite will go with the modern-day kick across the body. Clever player. Let's see how he goes. Stayed left, copped the curse, through for a minor score, and Melton peppering the goals. But just the one to speak of in this term, 10 minutes in. They're 8-6-54. They lead East Point 7-6-48.
Gangley plays on, goes long towards the outside again is the option. Filmer forced to spoil this time, and the ball's ricocheted off of his direct opponent, Borg, and out of play. 1-4 this term to no score. It's been continuing press by the Bloods to hold the footy in their attacking half of the ground. And we're back underway at the half forward for them. Archer knocked it over the back towards O'Brien. He got the handball way inside towards the teammate Mojito. Broke the tackle, but stolen by East Point. They run in numbers through the middle of the ground. Canny with it. Looks to draw the man in Johnston. He goes with the left foot kick towards half forward. A vacant Jeffries will run onto it. He has a man at the back if he's able to gather. Tries to shovel it underground towards Wilson. Off one step. Overcooked the kick. He was trying to find Taylor centre forward. And Watkins took the mark. And Melton looked to switch it through the middle of the ground. Mark taken there by Archer. Has the overlap runner if he likes in Cotter. That's where he goes to. He's able to mark and go. Takes one bounce. Draws the man over the top with the hand pass. Opportunity for Melton inside forward 50. Right foot kick from Kite. It's across the face. Still might suit Carter. Brought the ground with the spoil. Wilson gets involved. He's locked up there by Payne, driven into the turf. Umpire, it's a big decision to make from the roars of the Melton crowd, but says, I will throw it in the air.
Don't know why they didn't give the handball to Borg, who could have pretty much ran into an open goal there, but Kite with a sky-high kick to the goal square has kept the door open for the Kangas. Tap, went to ground. Chance here for Lovig. He's bailed up, holding the ball. Ping said the umpire. Incorrect disposal by definition. It'll be Watkins who's worked his way into the game nicely this afternoon. Near 12 minutes gone. Sam touched on the inaccuracy of the Bloods in this third term with 5 shots on goal, but just the 1-4 return. But it's been enough to give them the advantage here. They lead by 6 points. Watkins with an opportunity for goal number 2 on the on the back of that reward tackle on Lovig. So Watkins is coming back beautifully. That's an excellent finish from the former Panther, and he gets it done. And the Bloods get some separation on the scoreboard, some bang for buck, if you will, for the amount of time spent in their front half in this third term, Sammy.
Yeah, well called there, Toddy, and well called on Lockie Watkins, because he would have been disappointed in his own personal opening half performance, but has lifted with a couple important tackles, had a flying shot on goal before this one, and then, yeah, that reward for the tackle, the second follow-up tackle there to win the free kick, and they've smartly finished from the set shot from about 40 metres out. 12-point margin here, live at the Sydney Oval. We'll get back under the way with this ruck duel between Archard and Van Meel. One down by Benny Archard. Watkins on cue. Taken to the turf. Locked up, although the ball did spill out. Umpire blew his whistle just a little bit too quickly. They've been pretty good at letting it roll on all day. This time, we'll go once again from the restart in the middle of the beautiful City Oval.
Yeah, the Bloods continue with their third quarter advantage over East Point. 6 scoring shots to nothing in this term. But they'll get a free kick here. The Kangas, it'll go to Lovig against O'Brien. And he'll lobe away onto the right boot. Run his measure, gets the protection from Johnson. Kick inside 50. Numbers at the back, terrific courage. Oh, umpire didn't pay the mark. Ball at ground level, and there'll be a stoppage. So you had a good piece of that suitor, Sammy.
Yeah, I thought he should have been probably rewarded with the mark, and he asks us, the umpire, what more do you want me to do? In a better spot than us, though, the man in green must have touched the turf. As Van Meel reaches over the top, over the shoulder, says the umpire. This time, free kick going the way of Ben Archard, who's been unlucky to give a few away himself throughout the afternoon in the ruck.
Yeah, he's been a bit bemused with a couple of blocks that have gone against him. But that one, he was the recipient of, and he high kick towards half-back, searching hand pass from Payne. Well, went to nobody in particular. Opportunity here for the Kangas. With weight of numbers, they'll get a free kick. It'll come back. It'll go to Slater. So Slater with ball in hand. Defensive side of outer centre wing for the Kangas. They'll look for some scoreboard pressure in the back half of this third term. They trailed by 12 points. Long kick towards the attacking 50. Doing the sharking there was Suter. Final set for a player of his calibre. Ground ball, sharked by Button. Tumbling kick was poor. And it's been cut off by Howard. Who'll rebound for the Kangas.
Looks to pull the trigger. Off hands, Payne got a little fingertip in there. Jeffrey waiting down. Will send it inside forward 50. Big fly there by Robinson. Brought to the front of the pack. Waiting down there was Filmer. Now Dodd. Looks left, looks right. Look away, hand pass was superb. Opportunity from the lower of the eyes in the pocket towards McDougall. And he's tried to claim the mark. Umpires said it's gone out of play. Not paying it the way of Rice and McDougall. And we'll get a ball in the right forward pocket about 30 metres out from goal.
Yeah, a bit of Stark in that catch there from McDougall. Denied. Couldn't hide his disappointment. Throw in. Waiting at the back, Taylor. Couldn't get, well, he got ball to boots. Cut off there by Butt, and the rebound fell into the hands of Jeffrey. Kick across the body. Bouncing ball! He snuck it through, Jeffrey. Now the central of the goal umpire will converse here. And again, some indecision from a quartet of the men in green. But the two fingers go up, and it's a goal given. And Jeffrey keeps East Point within touch. We're back to a 6-point ball game. The most entertaining affair. Stick with us. 16 minutes gone, third term. Melton 9-6-60. East Point 8-6-54.
And they really needed that side more for their confidence than anything. They would know about the third quarter stats against Melton. And they'll know the way they finished off the game last week against Sebastopol, where they really nearly got run over the top of after leading by 4 or 5 goals for the majority of the afternoon. So that goal there from Jeffries, yes, a bit of fortune and luck, might settle a few little nerves in the camp.
Back at the restart. Can they get back-to-back goals and level the scores here? They trail by 6 points, the Kangas. Exciting game of footy. Sullivan went by hand of the racehorse. In Borg, who went with the left foot and found Carter, who presented and took an ace overhead mark. Waste no time. Squaring kick in Brother Ryan's direction, but it's been cut off by Johnston, who's been influential in this third term. Despite the Kangas being outscored, his short kick found Howard, who went to a vacant centre wing. Bouncing ball. How will it sit for Wilson? It does. And he went along the line and kicked it to the fat side of Jeffrey, who got a kind bounce and went with the outside of the right boot. Coming in from the side, terrific run and carry. Out of defence from Manito, who lowered the eyes and found Davis on the defensive 50 for the Bloods.
Goes back to Manito to continue to run. draws the man and gives it to Kite on the defensive side of centre wing. High ball towards half forward. Howe went to ground early, allowed access for Carter, who just blazes away inside 50, nobody home. The only man there is Mitch Walsh. They're going to hold things up at fullback. Kick's got to be good coming out of the fence. In the direction there of Fraser. Didn't hit him on the chest. Now it's a slight problem. Forced to dump it down the line. Van Meel working hard. Couldn't take the mark. Big fella, but Gass probably trying to will himself to that contest. Bounces off his chest. We're going to ball in virtually opposite from our broadcast position. On the far side, centre wing position, it's Melton 9-6-60, leading East Point 8-6-54 here, live at the City Oval.
Van Meel to contest the ruck. Won that. Searching for Canny. Did well, the youngster, but he was bailed up by Lockie Walker, taken to the ground. And there'll be a ball up. True centre wing out of side. 18 minutes into this third term. Melton a little wayward on the goal front. 2-4 for the term. East Point have a goal of their own. We've still got a game on. It's the Bloods who lead by 6 points. Johnson, never been far away from the action for the most part of the afternoon. Denied an exit by hand. And the umpire will affect another stoppage. And a ball up. Archard won that tap. Only as far as Merritt. Went to the voice of Taylor. Got it to him on the bounce. Territory kick along the ground. The gather from Heaney was terrific. He ran into Cotter and then a Kanga. He ran into a kangaroo, Sammy. And then we a ball up on half forward out of side.
I love the call, Toddy. East Point just able to will themselves back into the contest here a little bit in this term. Just starting to get a little bit more weighted possession, wheeling it forward. At the half-forward region now, Watkins at ground levels wrapped up there by Taylor and Merritt. And the umpire says, give it to me. I'll throw it in the air. I feel like the next 5 minutes going into time on here is going to be huge, Todd. A goal to level things up, and it's anyone's ball game. Melton trying to get some bang for your buck, as you would love to say, for all their weighted possession in this term. Quick hands there by Sullivan. Was hot foot to be won by Watkins. The opportunity for O'Brien on his number third side. Left foot kick will go towards half forward. Carter unable to mark. Now Payne at ground level. Gets away from Fraser. Left foot kick goes in the direction there of Davis. Walsh in the hole will take the mark on half back and be able to shore things up out of the fence for East Point, the vice captain.
He'll go short and the kick's okay to Canny. He'll weigh up the options and go short and wide in the direction of Merritt. Just marked it just above the shoelaces at the end. And he's just taking some air out of the game momentarily to take a breath. Be told to move it on here, surely. And he does, with a high up and under kick to the attacking 50. Bloods have got numbers behind the ball. Liam Carter did well to stay down, and he'll get the loose ground ball. He went by hand to Lachlan Walker. He's had a good third term, right foot kick. Out in the direction there of Greenshields. He has it knocked away from him. Over the line for a boundary throw-in. On half forward, out of sight of the ground for East Point.
Ball being trapped on that far side of the ground from us. For about the last 5 to 10 minutes of the contest here. 6 points the margin. Ball going to be thrown back into time on in the third term. As we're just waiting for Mojito to get off the ground with a rather large limp in the hands of trainers. Well, he's just shoot them off to get himself off the ground, so we'll keep an eye on him.
Yeah, it looks every bit of hamstring, Sammy.
Knocked forward there by O'Brien. Ferrugia, who came on for him, was collected high. Attacked the ball with full ferocity and caught one over the shoulder of reward for effort. Here for Conrad Ferrugia. Right foot kicks a scrubby one in the direction there of Payne. The bounce was okay, though. Quick hands were superb, but teammate under immense pressure was tackled immediately there by Dodd. And we'll get a ball up on the half-forward flank region now for Melton.
Yeah, just had the eyes on Menito. It may not be hammy, in fact, because the old magic spray's gone to the lower part of the shin.
One down there by O'Brien. Teammate under all sorts of pressure and Walker. And in the end, the umpire's going to say, give it to me for another ball up to restart. Become a real arm wrestle after a frantic opening half here, Todd. Melton working their way in front by 6 points.
Yep, the third cameo of the afternoon for the Sunshine overhead. Loose ball opportunity for Greenshields. Somehow got it to Lockie Walker. Ferrugia caught one high. The umpire said no. And there'll be a ball up. True centre wing out of side of the ground. Time on third term here. Most entertaining affair in this McDonald's Carlton Draft first semi-final. Live from City Oval via the Red Onion Vision and the BFNL Match Centre. Tap one there by Van Meel. Went defensive side. Merritt gathered, was dispossessed, taken to the ground. Ball shoveled out, foot race on in earnest. Chance for Filmer to gather it. He does. cleanly and went along the line to the attacking 50. Oh, the gather from Robinson at ground level was terrific. And his kick, his left foot, ricocheted off the Bloods defence and went over the line for a boundary throw-in, 50 metres around from the East Point goal.
Keep harping on about the kids for East Point, but Filmer, Wilson, Robinson, all having important moments in this afternoon for East Point. As the umpires picked out a free kick, it's going to go the way this time of Melton in the ruck. As Dodd was trying to line one up from 50, it's going to go the way of O'Brien inside his defence. Traditional long kick down the line expected. Neither side been able to really utilise the corridor or the attacking broadcast side as advantage. Big push, I would have thought, Toddy. Yes, you've seen it the way, and so did the umpire. Free kick the way of Smoking Joe Fraser, a true centre wing.
So with ball in hand, out of centre wing, a high up and under kick will go towards the attacking 50. A 2-on-1 here. Cotter just had a rare touch of the fumbles there, went through his hands, opened the door for the Kangas. Somehow fell back into the hands of Cotter, who found Braden Kite. This kick needs to be good, and it was, and it found Kyle Borg 20 metres away from the East Point goal. He comes broadcast side in the direction of Geordie Kite. Has it knocked away from him well there by Q. And the ball found its way over the line for a boundary throw-in and a reset broadcast side. A rarity in the last 8 or 9 minutes as Sammy touched on, 60 metres away from the East Point goal.
Yeah, great closing speed there by Q. Just does all the little things right, Sammy Q, off half-back. As we're back underway at half-forward for East Point. One down there by O'Brien. Trying to react first was Johnston, so was the racehorse. If you've called him a few times today in Borg, but he couldn't even keep up with that one as it dribbled over the line. Ball ensuing about 70 metres now from Gull for either side. O'Brien and Van Meel in the ruck. Boundary throw in favours O'Brien in front, but Van Meel reaches over top. Well done by Watkins, and the stiff arm was as superb. Right foot kicks down the line, not as good. Howard worked his way to the front and took the intercept. Defensive side of centre wing on the broadcast side.
Tick over 24 minutes gone, third term. Howard with ball in hand. High kick to a swarm of players, Heaney under it. Ground ball opportunity now for O'Brien with strength. The tackle was good from Johnson. Loose ball get from Robinson, forced to go by hand. Away from the tackler. Green Shields gathered. Oh, there'll be a free kick to Suter here for a high tackle. And the Bloods will get out of trouble.
He's been sort of the glue in this third term for them, Blake Suter. He's put his hair over the footy a couple of times and won some contested footy. And that one for a high tackle. And that ball might access the corridor to find Walker, who wants to spread it wide, which was a strange option. Made a certain chance. Now a turnover. Jeffries sends it inside 50. Looking for Merritt in the pocket. Needs to set up for the coach. Stops and props. Right foot kick around the body towards Tillman, who slipped. And making amends, Walker takes the mark in the heart of the fence and spreads it wide towards Watkins quickly. Watkins
drew the man in Wilson and then went by hand to Suter. Right foot kick. They've overcooked it, so a couple of ordinary exit attempts by foot and by hand from the Bloods in the last minute or so. But they've got away with it with a boundary throw in. Attacking side of centre wing, broadcast side for East Point. The throw in into the ruck. O'Brien and Van Meel. Follow-up work from O'Brien was terrific. The tackle on Dodd, but not before he can negotiate by hand to Wilson. Cop one high, said the umpire. Play on now. Chance here for Murphy. Searching hand pass. Not getting on the receiving end there with the Kangas, but they're still hustling for the footy. Ground ball. Swarm of players around it. Bees to a honeypot. Whistle imminent. Umpire will come in and separate with the ball up on true centre half forward for the Kangas. Near 26 minutes gone, third term. Melton hanging on to a 6-point lead.
Been trying to get pace on the ball all afternoon, East Point. That time, the decision to go by Tillman was probably the wrong one, as umpire's going to think called for the blood rule on O'Brien, who I think let umpire Adrian Newey that he needed to get off the ground, and he'll head to the bench along with Lockie Walker, and we'll wait for a moment for the restart. But Todd, what I've noticed with East Point today, it's been just go, go, go at all times.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it really has been quite the aerobic contest today. End-to-end stuff, and two potent forward lines getting it done on the scoreboard. But just the Bloods just a little bit wayward with their opportunities. 2 goals for this term. East Point just with the goal of their own. Well in time on in this third term.
So back at centre half forward with the restart. Van Meel goes early. Archer wins it down. Diving in was Canny. He has to be careful to get it out, which he does, but Numbers favour the Bloods. Greenshields kicks a poor one. Conlon allowed access to it. Tries to break the tackle and the hand pass goes inside to Kenny. Gave it back to a teammate there in Gangley. Inside 50, he goes backing back with Suter again with courage. Bounced back up to him and collected one high again as Filmer was running in to kick the goal. Blake Suter again. The glue of this Melton defence wins the free kick in his defence.
He'll sleep well tonight, Blake Suter. That's his third or fourth free kick for a high, and I reckon that the umpires actually missed a couple. He could almost have a half a dozen over the shoulder, such as his carriage. And they'll wax on, wax off here. Suter to Phillips, back to Suter, and he'll run away. The top of the defensive goal square for the Bloods. And found Heaney on the left boot and went along the line to outer centre wing. Greenshield presented. Took a mark on the chest. Can just chip it over the top. Kick meant for Carter. Nice strong mark taken there by, might be Slater, is it?
Yep.
Slater with ball in hand. Right foot kick to a 2-on-1. As the siren sounds here for three-quarter time. And a real arm wrestle of sorts for the final 10 minutes of that term. But it's the reigning premiers, Melton, who lead East Point in this McDonald's Carlton Draft first semi-final action live from City Oval. They're 9-6-60, East Point 8-6-54.
For the home side, or the unofficial home side this afternoon, Melton. 3 goals to Ryan Carter, a couple of Lockie Watkins, with singles to Kite, Archer, Payne and Liam Carter. Whilst for East Point, 4 to Bryson McDougall in the opening half, 2 to Strawn Robinson and singles to Filmer, and Jack Jeffries, their only goal kicker in that term. I think if I'm Jack Samara going into this final term address, you'd be the happier of the two coaches here, Todd. I think despite trailing on the score sheet, that quarter could have really opened up for Melton. They just weren't able to execute on the scoreboard. And I think, kicking to the right of the screen to finish, they'll fancy their chances here, the Kangas.
Yep, indeed. They managed to keep Melton goalless for the last 15 minutes of that term, whilst posting a major off that lucky bounce that Jeffrey got. But fortune favours the brave and the forward craft of the youngster to register his first. None more important than that, of course. 8-6-54, East Point trail Melton 9-6-60. And, of course, that fast-paced opening half, gee, the sting had to come out of the game. And, of course, that was while it was a very highly contested term, it really was at a slower pace that you just couldn't keep up that frenetic speed played in the opening half.
No, you're certainly right, Todd. So can the Kangas do it? Or the best side from the home and away season flex their muscles one final time? We'll take our final break here from the City Oval and see how it unfolds in the first semi-final in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League here, live between Melton and East Point. Welcome back to the City Oval for the final term here in the first semi-final between Melton and East Point. A rematch, or replay if you will, from the 2018 Grand Final in the Ballarat Football Netball League, and Melton leading by 6 points here. Todd, before we wait for the last few spectators get off, a quick word from you on how this one's going to finally unfold.
Well, I'm just wondering who North Ballarat would be preferring to play, given an 0-3 record against the two. Of course, they've lost both games against East Point in the home and away, and their one match against the Bloods at Mars Stadium by 20 points earlier in the year.
Yeah, good call, Toddy. They'll have close eyes. We've seen Brent McCartney in the crowd during the break as well. As we get the final term underway here at the City Oval. One down there by Archer, stolen away by Johnston. Left foot kick will go inside 50. Suter, who was important that third term, worked his way to the front. At the back was Phillips. Has to be careful. Underground hand pass was clever. Got it to Blake Suter. Dumps it out of the fence. Bouncing ball towards Drew. Centre wing on the outer side. Good work there by Van Meel. Try to send it inside towards Dodd. He just shouldered out of the space more than anything. Opportunity there for Wilson, who's wrapped up. And we'll get a ball up on the defensive side of centre wing. The opening 30 seconds of the final term here in the first semi-final live at the City Oval.
Rain has stayed away all afternoon. Been an entertaining game of football. The restart, ground ball opportunity here for Watkins. Strong hand pass, took the body contact and gave the hand pass to Borg. High up and under kick. Cut off there by Walsh, who tripped himself up in the end, but managed to hang on to the football and will rebound for East Point and will go short with the option to Slater, who marks adjacent to the defensive goal square. Further lateral to Lovig, who'll hopefully, for the Kangas' sake, get them out of trouble.
Looks to go back in defence towards Conlon in a more central position at the top of the goal square. Wants to spread it long and wide to the outside. Canny's the target he chooses. Borg with him, got a touch on it. Canny kept his feet though. Borg did not. Streams away from half back towards centre wing. Backing back with courage and well played by Filmer. Kept it in front. Left foot kick will go towards half forward. Suda, left Merritt, did well. Strong in the hits. Gave it away towards Faruja. And Melton rebound with the 1-2 to Faruja off half back. Archard tried to give and go as well. Back towards Conrad. Off a foot. He goes out in the full lucky break. Opportunity for Faruja to rebound from the defensive side of centre wing.
Both Faruja and Suter have been terrific in the back half of the Bloods today. And it'll be Faruja with ball in hand. He'll go towards half forward. Ground ball opportunity here. Shark there by Conlon. High up and under kick to out of centre wing. Dodd couldn't grab it. Davis could. Could have been held without it against Murphy. Umpire let it go. Loose ball gathered there from Archard. Was sort of stolen by Lovig as they were both tackled and taken to the ground. And there'll be a ball up on centre wing out of side of the ground.
We will blink first in this final term at the City Oval. Neutral territory on centre wing on the outside. Archer wins it down. Well done by Johnston. Gathered at full velocity. Left foot kick towards half forward. Clever knock on by Jeffrey. Gets it into Robinson inside 50. Dehaney grab hold of him. Umpire said no. Lets it wave on. Cotter with a big tackle. Off the deck goes Robinson. McDougall got it! Fortune favours the brave. Just hacked it off the deck, did Robinson. That 1-2 punch goes bang, bang. An opportunity for McDougall from about 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
And he'll have a shot for goal number 5. And East Point chance to kick the first of this final term. Tick over 3 minutes gone. And what a game on here if McDougall can slot this one through and level the score, Sammy.
I've been waiting for this explosion onto the scene from Bryson McDougall. He's got all the tricks. He's got all the talent. And on a big day, to finally deliver with goal number 5 to level the scores from about 35 metres out. Kick is on its way. The kick is long and strong. And up and about are the Kangas. 9-6 apiece here. 60 points of margin. We're in for a grandstand finish this afternoon, Todd, here at the City Oval.
Indeed. Haven't seen a car leave the ground since the opening bounce. Most entertaining game of football scores level here. McDougall with 5 of East Point's 9 goals. And of course, they've kicked 5 goals to the right of screen today. And they'll endeavour, well, everybody who's kicked to the right of screen have won the quarter. So if East Point can prevail here, they're on road to an upset win over the minor premiers. Ball up, tap one by Archard. Knocked further afield by Van Meel. Clever little kick out of the congestion there from Conlon was cut off. Rebound kick to the attacking 50 for the Bloods. Foot race on in earnest. Going the soccer there was Conlon. Leading into the race for the ball, Lachlan Walker had a touch of the fumbles, was good in the third term. The pressure was good there from Cotter. Call it even. You couldn't get much closer than this, I tell you. There's a ball up, true centre wing broadcast side. Scores level, 4.5 minutes gone. Season at stake.
Couple important sockers there from Tommy Conlon as well, who's lifted in this final term. Archard knocks it down. Button wrapped up immediately there by Johnston. Try to keep a close eye on him all afternoon as Tommy Button on Johnston. The captain, been very good once again. As we're back underway, Van Meel, second by the cherry, got it out to Filmer, turns on the afterburners, goes for a run, sends it inside 50, looking for Robinson. Good spoil by Heaney, gets it back from Cotter. Well played Melton, left foot kick to centre wing. Heaney dumped late after he disposed of the footy. It'll be a downfield free kick. Mark was taken by Carter nevertheless.
Liam Carter with ball in hand, goes with the right boot, out wide, looking there towards Kite, he's got it. Just through the traffic of hands of the Kangas as Kite sends the ball forward. Payne the fly went over the back to a vacant goal square. Chance for Johnny Kite. Kick across the money. And the Bloods are back in front.
Kite the kite and goal. 6 points the margin here in what's going to be an enthralling final term at the City Oval, the first semi-final of McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League.
Yeah, two kites combining and barely a breath of wind to speak of, Sammy.
I like it, Toddy. And it was just that kick to half forward there from Carter. Gainley was the man that left his direct opponent and didn't fail to impact the contest, didn't get fingertip on it, landed on Brain Kite's chest. He thumped it to full forward and Geordie got out of the back and kicked his first of the day.
Yeah, I thought they had some ordinary ball use in their front half. They messed up a few opportunities forward there, and Geordie Kite did on one occasion burn one of his teammates, but made amends there with an all-important goal to regain the lead for the Bloods.
Yeah, well said, Toddy. As we're back underway here, Archer went early, Van Meel competed well. Watkins with the boot, didn't get any territory with it as they all dive in. Stacks on the middle, if you will. Johnston, of course, leading that race for East Point as we'll get another ball up to restart 8.5 minutes into what is the final term here at the City Oval. Van Meel this time decisively wins it down. Clever knock on for Johnston just to hack it off the deck. To send it inside 50. McDougall's got his jumper ripped. Umpire didn't see it. Lets it wait, play on. Jeffrey's left foot snap around the body is offline and won't register a score.
Had plenty of the jumper of McDougall's, didn't he, Sammy? But both players just jostling for position. Umpire let it go, and Heaney will bring the ball back into play for the Bloods beyond the defensive 50. Phillips couldn't hang on to the mark, went through his hands. Ryan Carter couldn't bend and gather from the height, and the ball rolled over the line for a boundary throw-in, 52 metres away from the East Point goal, who trailed by 6 points near 7.5 minutes gone final term.
It's been go, go, go all day for East Point. Happy to just hack the ball off the deck, get it moving at all cost. It's worked for him as Archer knocks it down, but straight to Filmo, goes inside 50. Manum takes the mark and plays on immediately, dumps it out towards the outer side. Was looking for Carter. Walsh was best positioned, and with his non-preferred arm just fisted out of play. We'll get a ball in virtually opposite from our broadcast position on the far side of the City Oval, about pretty close to centre wing, just the defensive side of centre wing for Melton, who lead by 6 points.
Gee, the Magic spray stood the test of time. Manito just moving freely, limped off in that third term. Looks better, all the better for the spray. Here goes East Point again. Into attack, waiting at ground levels, moving, clever tackle. Let's sit for McDougall. He does. He went over the top to Jeffrey. He can run into an open goal. Scores level at City Oval.
Oh, great call, Todd, and well played there again. Just getting the ball moving. It's been the way of East Point all day. The clever knock on by Murphy and getting at the back. A goal for Jeffrey.
So while they seemingly took a breath, both sides, in that third term of that highly contested quarter, that frenetic pace has returned in this final term, similar to what we saw in the opening half.
Yeah, and we're talking contested footy. You can only look at one man, Matt Johnston again. A couple important clearances. How strong in the hips is that man just to get boot to ball then and send it inside 50. The captain leading from the forefront for East Point. Scores level 10-6 apiece for 66 points each side.
At the restart, it'll be Archer and Van Meel. Been at it all day. Van Meel won that tap, went into the bread basket. Old Borg, who couldn't gather cleanly. There's another one of those sockers you speak of from the Kangas. It was Loebig who got it to the attacking 50. Manito was tackled, taken to the ground. Stolen by Dodd. Can they get two in a minute? They've got it. And East Point are in front here at City Oval. 11-6, 72. They lead the Bloods 10-6, 66. Don't go anywhere. 9.5 minutes gone. Final term.
Excellent again, Toddy. And a goal there to Joey Dodd. Just stole it, picked his pocket, steadied, and put East Point back in front of what's been a seesawing affair this afternoon at the City Oval. So once again, we'll wait for the big fellas in Van Meel and Archer to continue their ruck battle. 9.5 minutes played. Final term. Grandstand finish, of course, here this afternoon expected. One down there by Archer on this occasion. Button going nowhere. He's wrapped up by Johnston. A bit of an anticlimactic start. After the last couple of minutes of footy, umpire will give us a bit of time to go once again. Van Meel hands to it first. Taylor, scrubby kick will go towards half forward. Cotter unable to hang on this time. Suda came through hard. Ball in dispute. Jeffrey gets involved. East Point happy to lock things up. A true centre half forward position. Maybe just inside 50 if you will.
Suda again. Commitment on the footy. Second to none. As he limps away. Ball up, tagging 50 for East Point. Jostling ruck. Bernardshard won the tap. Scramble opportunity here for the Bloods if they can gather. How's the umpire going to determine the tackle? Legal, and there'll be a ball up. inside the centre square, attacking side of it for East Point, who lead by 6 points here. 10.5 minutes into this final term. McDonald's Carlton Draft, first semi-final action.
Archer had been dominant in terms of hit out stake. Again, tries to rush it forward. Button got a case of the fumbles. Mahito wrapped up by a couple of Kangas. You look at Melton today, this is the moment they need to look at their leaders. Their co-captains, Kite and Walker, had quiet days for their illustrious standards. One down by Archer to the opposing captain in Johnston, who has done everything but to live up to that billing as we get another ball up in the middle of neutral territory of the City Oval.
Plenty of players have had shared moments right throughout the afternoon. It's been a real team contribution from both sides as Archard hacks that clearance towards half forward. Davis with the evasive skills. Pot shot on goal with the left boot. Has he got it? He has! The response from the Bloods squares the ledger here at City Oval.
Once again, pace on the footy and a clever finish by a clever left footer. It was Don at one end and now Davis. They were just slotted home from 45 metres out.
What a game of football.
Oh, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else here but the City Oval watching the contest. 11 goals, 6 each, 72 points, midway through the final term. The top side from the home and away season in Melton trying to avoid a straight exit. East Point, well, they pulled a rabbit out of the hat last week in many people's eyes. And is it another miracle here? With scores level midway through the final term.
Yeah, Kangaroo pulling a rabbit out of the hat. That's a good one, Tammy.
As we get back underway here, Archer again, just having a good couple minutes here in the ruck. Inside 50 with the kick was Walker. Carter somehow got boots the ball, sends it towards full forward. Well played as it was touched off the boot maybe. Gangley went quickly. Goes towards the outside. Tillman's his intended target in between a couple Melton players. Mahito off to the evasive ball. Got away from the whoopie tackler. Sends it inside forward 50. Walsh got the spoil in. Waiting at ground level there was Payne. Now Davis. Hand pass. Bit of another under one. Tough one to deal with. Wilson had to sit and wait for East Point. Brought to the turf just outside 50.
Gassing football. Both sides will be happy with a stoppage. A chance to take a breath and a reset momentarily. As the umpire restarts with the ball up, tap one by Payne. And I'll get another ball up here. Johnson never been far away from the action, been important today, especially in the absence of his brother Jordan Johnson. Ball up. Tap there, one by Van Meel. Chance here for the Kangas through Ganley. His kick smothered, but it went forward and fell into the hands of Lovig. Tumbling kick. Only went as far as Suter. He had it knocked away from him at ground level by Jeffrey. And then it's set up for the youngster. Ran his measure, took a bounce, and he's hit the post.
It was nearly an inspirational goal of the day moment for the live wire, who came into the vacant goal and hit the woodwork, Toddy. You called it so well. Just sat up for him to bounce on the ball. But that blemish does give him a slender 1 point lead. So Phillips from the restart at fullback. Able to waltz out of the fence. Elects to go out of side with a long kick. Russell doesn't fly, allows O'Brien access to it. He couldn't mark. And in the end, well, it's been ripped away by Taylor. And he'll dump it inside 50. Robson in position A. Couldn't mark this time. McDougall, right foot snap. Goal! Got it! 6 of the best for Bryson McDougall. And East Point now with a handy 7 point lead midway through the final term.
Yeah, great call, Sammy. None more important than that from McDougall. 6 of the best, well framed. Great finish from McDougall. Was the disciplined forward in that thrust from the Kangas. Weighted down at ground level and was able to be the beneficiary. Right place, right time. Excellent finish, excellent forward craft. And the East Point extend to a 7 point lead midway through this final term.
It's been a goal for goal final term. Watch to see if Melton respond. Staring down the barrel of straight set exit, as Johnson with the clearance only found Borg as for the 4th time the cameo. The sun comes here at the City Oval. Borg will play on from the defensive side of centre wing. Looks to go towards Carter. Howard really built into that task as the game's gone on. It looked like in the early stages Ryan Carr was going to tear this game right apart himself, and the youngster Howard's done well with the spoil there to neutralise the points in their head-to-head matchup.
McDonald's Carlton Draft first semi-final action via the Red Onion Media Group and the BFNL Match Centre. Arguably the best final we've seen so far this series. There's the throw in. Shallow one at that. Van Mille at front spot. Off his shins to Conlon. Kick across the body to half forward here for the Kangas. Sharkwell by the man of the moment, and McDougall has kicked 6. He went by hand on this occasion. Desperation. Good tap there from Murphy. Got it to McDougall. Back to Murphy. High up and under kick. He can't keep it in, but the courage of Minito on the full and/or mark. And Minito will rebound for the Bloods, who are under the pump here at City Oval.
Burst on the scene last season in their premiership. The rookie has had a fine 2023. Been injury hampered though, as that long ball is fisted out play there by Van Mille. We'll get a ball in on true centre wing on the broadcast side. 16 minutes gone. Final term action. 7 points to the margin. Melton trailing, relying on their big guns here to steer them into another preliminary final in the Ballarat Football Netball League. Archer wins it down. Conlon's been good. Look away hand pass only found Watkins. Slight fumble with the pressure of County. He's got that arm with a vice grip tackle and took him to the turf for another ball up on true centre wing.
Yeah, good pressure. No free disposals going on here. Season on the line. Progress to a preliminary final for the winner. Mad Monday for the loser. Ball up. Archard. Van Mille. Give that one to Van Mille. Ground level. All slung into the ground there was Walker. Umpire let it go. Johnson stood up and then caught one high. And that'll come back to the skipper against Borg. It'll be Matty Johnson with ball in hand.
If you're a coach watching this game this afternoon, you'd want to have 22 Matty Johnson. He's just all heart.
He goes with the right boot to half forward. The fly from Toolman. Couldn't bring down the mark. Ground level opportunity here for Taylor. Gave it back to Toolman on his left boot. Top of the goal square. Players set themselves. Robinson.
How good is this kid? Again, pack mark. Big moment. Stands up. Oh, he's going to be one for the future. And just having a look off the ground, Toddy, you pointed out Geordie Cotter from that contest. Very important player. Toolman with a nice Moco check on him. Doesn't look well, but Robinson with the kick to get a 13-point final quarter margin, taking all of his 30 seconds. The 16-year-old comes in at the top of the square and extends each point's lead. 3 for Robinson to equal his tally from last week in the elimination final. And it's 13-7-85 once the electronic scoreboard here finally upstates at the City Oval to 11-6-72, Todd.
And those 3 multiple goal scorers for each point, combining for 3 apiece last week, and they've done it again. McDougall 6 at the moment, Robinson 3, and Jack Jeffrey 2, making up 11 of the Kangas' 13 goals.
As we approach time on, it's all or nothing for Melton now. One down by O'Brien in the ruck. Canny reacts at ground level, driven into the turf there by Watkins. Unable to get the fast exit. Kite going into the midfield here, the captain. Trying to get best speed on the ball. We know he's fantastic around the clinches. Been closely watched by Geordie Taylor's had a fantastic final term. So is this man Johnston off halfback. Just sends it out to a vacant centre wing. Leading the foot race there is Taylor. Sits up in the end for Geordie Taylor. The 2-time premiership player's right foot kick's not very good one. Might allow access here from Mahito to go across towards centre back. A dangerous kick. Watkins can hang on. Can he almost pick his pocket? Filmer did. Stops. Steadies from 40. Big moment for the young kids offline and out in the full. Almost would have shut the gate with 3 in a row for East Point, but misses everything, Todd.
Yeah, that was a moment indeed for Filmer. And it'll be Heaney to bring the ball back into play for the Bloods. Near 20 minutes gone, final term. Melton trail by 13 points. Kick in from Heaney, got beyond the defensive 50. Lachlan Walker tried hard today. Went by hand to Minetto. Hurried to hand pass, found Russell, territory kick. Out of bounds on the full errant one at that. And the ball will go back into the hands of the Kangas. They'll like this, a chance to take a breath. A moment for a reset. It'll be Van Mille with ball in hand.
Safety first, maybe now Toddler as we go into time on. Although he goes laterally and finds Slater, one of the designated ball users. Like the prospect, a lot to work with young Geordie Slater and really built into the back half of the season. Plays on centre wing, kicks off the outside of the boot a little bit. McDougall Outworked there by Phillips this time, but McDougall responds. Got the crumb off the filmer. This kicks a bit better towards the top of the square, right to the line. And in the end, Heaney sees it through. Safety first for a minor score.
Gee, been very impressed with the Kangas' persistence in this last quarter as Suda wastes no time and found Borg. He'll try to draw the man of Jeffrey, and he does, and went by hand to Ferrugia, who took a second bounce and then went by foot. Good territory gained. Umpire called play on because Howard marked the footy. Must have been touched off the boot, but he'll get a free kick for an over the shoulder. So they'll need to maintain discipline here, Bloods. Just some unnecessary, frustrating free kicks won't help their cause as Howard will rebound with a high up and under kick to half forward. The Bloods have got numbers. Watkins was one of those. Ground ball opportunity. Each point have won plenty of ground ball in this final term, but they won't extricate on this occasion. There'll be a ball up near half forward out of sight of the ground for East Point.
So an opportunity here for East Point to drive one more into attack and try to shut the gate in the contest. One down in the ruck there by Archer. Wilson knocked it to his own advantage on the far side. Didn't sit up for him on the second bounce. Goes a second time, maybe collected high. Safety of the boundary line will do for them, though, as the ball's in neutral territory on true centre wing. Virtually opposite from our broadcast position. We'll get a ball back in. 14 points. O'Brien in the ruck this time against Van Meel, and Van Meel wins it down. Bouncing ball, favourite East Point. Dodd's handball's partially smothered. Almost landed up in the hands of Canny. Doing the tackling there's McDougall. Watkins with the hand pass. Go off to Cotter as he goes high towards half forward. Walsh backing back. Waiting down was actually the big fella this time, and Archer run down by Lovic. He handballs inside, taken away there by Gangley. Goes for a run with the right foot kick. Watkins, lovely pickup. Right foot kick will go inside forward 50. Numbers favour the Kangas at the back of the contest, but at the front it's an opportunity here for Kite around the body. Needs the kind bounce, and it skips on and through. Not done with yet. Melton, as against the run of play, they break the trend of what was three back-to-back or 3 goals in a row to East Point, if you will.
Yeah, well, it was a great finish from the captain, Braden Kite. Take a bow, Lockie Watkins at speed. Gathered the ball cleanly, one touch at the shoelaces, through traffic, threw the ball onto the boot to generate that eventual shot on goal from Kite, and it really has kept the Bloods in it. They're back within 8 points here. 22 ticking now, 23 minutes gone, final term.
Don't go anywhere here at the City Oval. One down by O'Brien towards that man Watkins, who's lifted his work rate in the final term. Off the deck goes Conlon. Cotter got in the midfield and got the handball away there towards Borg. Shake and bake as he always does from the racehorse. Right foot kick right towards the half forward line. Trying to get it towards Carter. Numbers here at East Point. They look to rebound. Well played by Slater. Actually stepped through traffic. High ball towards centre wing. Knocked away by Phillips. Canny reacts at ground level. Brought to the turf. And a ball up on the true centre wing. And Todd, I'll ask you the question. Have East Point just gone slightly too early with the safety?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I just think the Bloods have just, they're just all in. They've just raised the bar. It's all or nothing for the reigning premiers. Tap one by Van Meel. Bailed up there was Canny. Denied a handball exit. There'll be a ball up. Attacking side of centre wing. Outer side of the ground for East Point. 8 points separate the two sides. 5 goals to 3 in favour of East Point in this final term. Chance here for Kite. Gathered. Kept the ball inside cleverly and went with the right boot. Penetrating kick. Call it a territory one at that. Bouncing ball found its way over the line for a boundary throw-in. 50 metres away from the Melton goal.
Yeah, right in the field here for Melton to try and do some damage. Brendan Payne's going to take the ruck, and he's been quiet for his stands that we're seeing in season 2023. Can he have a couple of big moments in this final term? Him and Walsh will compete. Umpire gets us back underway in the restart. Bet 48 from goal. They neither touch it. Off the deck out of mid-air went Lovic towards a dangerous area. So big foot to be won. Phillips had the safety of Green Shields inside and he knocked it in his advantage. He coughed it up. Well played by East Point back to Lovic. Left foot kick will go towards a one-on-one. Jeffrey couldn't mark. Fist by Ferrugia into the corridor. Heaney, left foot kick, scrubby one at best. We'll go into the middle of the ground. Russell and Wilson. Wilson knocked it in towards Canny. He goes off the deck not once but twice. Well played, Liam Canny. Right foot kick towards half forward. McDougall sees it at the back. Now he has a man in the corridor and Taylor, if he can spot him. Wants to go longer afield. Looks for the lead of the coach in Merritt. Sits up for him. draws the man, tries to keep it alive, is seen over the line. We'll get a ball in, deep inside forward 50 in the right forward pocket.
Yeah, well played, Sammy. Boundary throw in, 40 metres away from the Kangaroo goal. Tick over 25 minutes gone in this final term. Each point lead by 8 points. Melton, of course, won by 8 points at their last meet in Ballarat. This game's been flipped on its head. It's been a tight tussle for the most part. The to and froing of the sharing of the lead, but it's each point in front of the right time. Tap won by Van Meel. The ball's in the right place for the Kangas too at the moment. It's in their front half. Suter threw it out to Green Shields, who gave it to the big fella Archard. Kick across the body to a 3-on-2. Each point got numbers, but 2 of them went to ground. And Slater did well in traffic just to throw the ball onto the boot. Kite gathered, went to ground. Tried to keep Merritt off with his studs in the end. Manito gathered through traffic, dribbling ball. It's a hot one at that. Howard was clean. The handball was loose. Opened the door for the Bloods. The pressure from Walsh was good to deny Liam Carter, who's gone back to his forward post, and then we a ball up attacking side of centre wing broadcast sign for the Bloods.
Big stoppage in the spectrum of the contest here. Attacking side centre wing for the Bloods. Big fist by Archer was smothered by Van Meel on the ruck. Dodd spun in the tackle by Cotter. And a ball up is the result. 26.5 minutes played, final term action, 8-point margin in favour of the underdogs in East Point.
Ball up, tap one by Van Meel, ground ball, shark by Filmer, territory kick, Heaney, terrific. Back with the flight of the ball, only had one arm free and took it, played on, waste no time, went to centre wing, Archer, the target, had to take the mark because waiting at ground level with the Kangaroos, and Canny was one of those. He went by hand to Johnson, who found Filmer. Clumsy off the boot, and a resultant free kick to Cotter, who'll pump the Bloods forward.
He was looking for Kite, gets a nice kind bounce to sit up for him. Canny tracking back. Had a big final term in second half, to be fair. Dumps it back towards centre wing. Arriving late was Johnston, couldn't impact this one. Stolen by Heaney. Inside 50 he goes, and a nice mark taken in defence. Trying to go quickly, not to the desired result for the Bloods fans. Gangley has it in defence.
Had it all on his own. Davis at the top of the 50, but he wasn't seen. It's easy from the cheap seats up here in the grandstand, but that would have been the benefit for the Bloods. But now the ball's on attacking side of centre wing broadcast side. Cotter forced to go by hand, released the football only as far as Wilson. It was bailed up by Walker and Watkins, and then we a ball up on centre wing broadcast side. 28 minutes gone now, final term. Melton will need 2 goals to win it, you'd think. They trail by 8 points.
Davis, that man trying to come through traffic and get the ball moving. Johnston puts his head over it as it always does. Will happily hold it in. There's appeals for holding the ball from the likes of Cotter and Davis, but umpire wiser to it says, give it to me and I'll throw it in the air. Attacking side of centre wing. Once again, Archer to go in the ruck and win the hit down towards Cotter. Right foot snap will go towards half forward. Payne in front. Big fist over the top there from Howard. Brought it to ground. Handball inside was a good one. Allows access for Tom Collin towards the corridor. 3 bounces to the middle of the City Oval. Might think about a 4. The side from 60 to go for it all. Towards the top of the square. Out the back towards Merritt, who infringed by holding Suter, who wins the free kick at full back. And the umpire is just getting... Well, Suter tries to go quickly, gets him back over the line, Toddler.
Heart rate's up around the ground. Both crowds get, both teams supporters getting into it. Right foot kick, exit one at that, found Borg. Oh, juggling attempt at the mark, didn't control it for long enough, said the umpire, and then he dropped it like a hot spud. He was allowed to get away with it by the umpire, and O'Brien ran away from the congestion. Went with the right foot kick to the open 50. Kite couldn't gather. Ground ball opportunity here for Ganley was terrific. Gave some evasive skills. Tumbling kick to the outer centre wing. Players present. Green Shields was defensively sound for the Bloods, but the Kangas have got numbers through Conlon, who went with the soccer. Back into traffic. Ball bailed up. Whistle imminent. And there'll be a ball up. True centre wing out of side of the ground.
Oh, he caught it well, Todd, and had Gangley's pick up in the fence. That was superb with the one juke and just cleared a territory kick towards true centre wing. Might be a saving moment in the dying embers of this match, the first semi-final in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Network League, live from the City Oval. East Point lead by 8 points. Cotter dumped in the tackle. Sling tackle, says the umpire. And a free kick, an opportunity for Melton to go quickly, but they've mucked it up. as Archers kicks up and under. Umpire won't pay the mark. Borg tries to step the whoopie tackler to Walker. Now Watkins goes inside 50, looking for one of those prominent targets, and Kai's got it! Appeals for a push, plays on immediately, snaps. Grandstand finish on your way, ladies and gents. Kai pops it through. Melton now down by 2 points in what could only be the final moments of the game coming up, Todd.
Take a trip back to the grand final between these two sides a few years ago. I think it was only 1 point that separated the two sides then, Sammy, and the score's very similar also. And what a climatic finish that we've had to this City Oval first semi-final. East Point lead by 2 points. Near 31 minutes gone. Final term. Nervous fingers in the timekeeper's box, no doubt. Ball up, O'Brien, Van Meel. Tap one by O'Brien. Watkins went the soccer. Got it inside 50. Last roll of the dice for the Bloods. Ground ball. And the Kangas will try and keep it in, and they will through Howard. And there'll be a ball up 48 metres away from the Melton goal.
You couldn't ask for a better finish to a game than this, Todd. Ball inside 50. Melton trail by 2 points. O'Brien wins it down. Kite on the move. Got the handball away just in time. The fist back into traffic. Dodd with a hand in there for East Point to hold things up as some precious seconds for them tick off the clock. Almost 32 minutes gone in the final term of the first semi-final here live at the City Oval.
Tap one by O'Brien. Ground ball opportunity. Kenny needed to be clean. Johnston was. It went with the left boot. Clearing kick. Bouncing ball. Will nearly find touch. McDougall and Heaney leading into the race for the ball. Somehow the ball stays in. Heaney knocked it to the advantage of Phillips, but he couldn't keep it in. The ball found its way over the line for a boundary throw-in on half forward, out of sight of the ground for the Bloods. 32 minutes gone. East Point lead by 2 points.
The clearance here is vital. Johnson got the last, led from the forefront all afternoon. Melton trying to get their big guns around to the contest. Willing there one more time. One down by Van Meel. O'Brien tries to rip it out of his arc. Canny gets his hands on O'Brien, wrestles with him. Another ball up the result. Lovick also involved to hold things in as the ball was sandwiched between a couple of players. We'll go again quickly. One down by O'Brien, fisted back there by Howard. And back in towards the dangerous area where now East Point can hold things up and lock it up. About 75 out from their defensive goal.
Yeah, the Kangas certainly gone into save mode for the last 5 or 6 minutes. Sammy's had touched on it a little earlier in the term at the restart. It'll be a tap one, only as far as O'Brien. Wild hand past the space, was hopeful, found Button in the end, and they're out here, the Bloods. Right foot kick to the top of the square. Ground ball, hot footy. Archer, an unlikely goal source, couldn't gather. And the Kangas with numbers. The smother was terrific. Nearly opened the door for Geordie Kite, who was tackled with almost, well, it could definitely be a game-saving tackle there by Merritt on the last line, and there'll be a ball up about 3 or 4 metres out from the Melton goal. Take it away, Sammy.
Every player but two inside defensive 50. Lovick hits the line. There'll be calls for deliberate out of bounds, and the umpire, Adrian Newey, says we'll throw it in just outside of 50. The biggest call of the afternoon, and an important clearance by the vice-captain in Cam Lovick to clear territory.
Boundary throw in to take place, couldn't be long left. Near 34 minutes gone, final term. O'Brien was trying to grab it out of the ruck. Kangas have got numbers. There might be a push here for the Bloods. It'll be Lockie Walker with ball in hand. He'll want to get it moving quickly, and he'll look for one of the big dogs forward. Ball goes to the top of the goal square. Players set themselves. Ground ball. Not Kite again. Surely. Kick across the body. He's missed to the left.
I think it might be partially smothered there as well. Todders was trying to go between the big sticks. A 1 point ball game. 13-7-85 to 13-8-86. East Point's way as they'll bring it in from the full-back position through their captain in Johnston. Go short. And the siren sounds here. And do you believe in miracles? East Point have knocked out the reigning premiers Melton here live at the City Oval, Todd.
Yeah, in a final term that went the best part of 35 minutes. Braden Kite, the joint captain of the Bloods, really stood up in that final term. He kicked the last 2 goals of the game and had a third shot on goal with literally 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock. But the kick went left and stayed left. And it's the Kangas who have reversed that 1 point margin from that grand final a few years ago. They've got it done against the Bloods in what has become Aaron Tim's last game in charge of the Bloods. 13-7-85. They've just gone down. The minor premiers out in straight sets, as you mentioned, Sammy. Each point, 13 goals, 8. 86 for the man of the moment up front, despite plenty of contributors, the Kangas, with limited opportunity. Bryce McDougall's 6 goals was a standout performance.
Absolutely, Toddler. As you said, he kicked 6. Robinson, the youngster, 3 goals again as well inside 450. Jeffrey's got a couple. Dodd and Filmer also hit the score sheet. Whilst for Melton, it was 3 to Braden Kite and almost a 4th to pinch victory. 3 to Ryan Carter and singles to Geordie Kite Davis. A couple of Lockie Watkins, 1 to Archard and 1 to Brenton Payne. What a fantastic afternoon of footy we will treat to, Todd. And now it's all about next week. We will have one Ballarat side in the grand final taking on Darley. North Ballarat and East Point slated to be here at the City Oval. East Point, well, they have 3 sides in all 3 grades playing that afternoon. We have big afternoon of football for them. And finishing 6th on the ladder, not many gave them a chance for limping into the finals. I certainly didn't into the top 6. Have an opportunity to book them place into another grand final in the Ballarat Football Netball League.
Yeah, what a fantastic effort by Jackson Merritt's group and the East Point Football Club as a whole. They progressed to a preliminary final. They're down to the last 3. North Ballarat awaits. They wouldn't fear them. They're 2-0 against North Ballarat this year. They'll return. They'll have fond memories of this ground, City Oval, having overcome the minor premiers here. So they're just on a wave that you just want to be on at the moment, the Kangas. And they've got nothing to lose next week. And of course, North Ballarat, they're going to come after a dust-up, smashing against Darley really yesterday. It'll be interesting to see how they can correct on their failings at the weekend and come up against this East Point side full of momentum.
Absolutely, Todd. And all the eyes will be on the selection table again. Geordie Johnston, well, he was listed as an emergency this afternoon, still in the cast. Will they be right to get him going? 2 weeks with a broken thumb. We're now 3 weeks going into it. I think he's more of a chance next week than ever to make a surprise return and add to what has been a momentum-riding run for East Point here in the Ballarat Football Netball League.
Well, hopefully we can get an update from your smoky source that will remain unnamed, and we'll get an update on Geordie on his availability on the presser on Wednesday night, Sammy.
I'd say we'll try and provide an update as much as we can. As just looking at a man who didn't feature majority of the afternoon, Brad Whitaker limping off there. Didn't see much for the afternoon, Toddler.
No, spent most of the game off the ground.
The veteran, could be, also on the ride with Jackson Merritt in terms of time at East Point. They'll be hopeful that it's only precautionary and they can get him up for next week as well, because he's an important key to their side. It also allows great access for the likes of McDougall and Robinson.
But what a journey for Aaron Timms and his time in control of the Bloods. I remember interviewing him in the early rounds of 2018. He came up against Darley, the reigning premiers, and he said, all we've come here to Darley Park for today is some respect. And they got it done against Darley, and they returned to finals. And they managed to win one last year, and well-deserved with a 14-2 season, and went through to win all 3 finals to get it done. But unfortunately, they've come up 1 point short of another preliminary final appearance. But a 14-2 season, they should be a proud club, the Bloods.
Unfortunately, only our 2 losses came, of course, in the finals. A straight sets exit for Melton, the East Point juggernaut. The rival momentum continues to ride here in the Ballarat Football Netball League. Their match next week will be brought to you live here from the City Oval by myself, Sam Young and Todd Whelan, against North Ballarat. We can't wait to have you join our company once again for that. Today, a fantastic afternoon. Game of the season? I think so. East Point by a point, the deserving victors, and progress to the preliminary final next week in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Until then, it's a bye for now.